Let's see if this is going to work now. All right, we're going to try this again. Copy link address. Let me make sure the sound is running. I can see the video screen. There we go. Jeez, man. Shout out to RTP. I don't know why this thing be hating on me. It be hating, it be hating. It be hating, it be hating. For real, for real. All right, let's try this. Now, that's set. All right, and then hit save. And this should be SEK. Is that the one that's here? Get this out of my way. Thank you. Reply. Give me a second, man. There we go. All right. Damn. All right, I went through a lot. Let me start it from the top. Now we here. We was started from we didn't go too far, thank goodness. But I mean, I said some deep things, man. Let me close out my Photoshop because I want to make sure I have enough power. Enough memory. Yeah, save this. I don't want no more problems. I don't want no more smoke. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm just getting things reset. Kinda, soda. Let's go close this out and let's go here. All right. Think that's it. Close this out so I get some more memory, and I don't think I need that, so close that out. I want to make sure there's no extra memory running in the background so that we have no other problems today. Like I said, I don't want them smokes. I don't want that smoke. All right, what's up, everyone? We're gonna try this again. I had said some deep things, man. I'm gonna try to remember everything I said, but I won't go as long-winded, since none of y'all could hear it in the first damn place. But let me verify that my audio's working. Let me check, because I don't want no problems. I don't even know why it didn't tell me, like, hey, you ain't streaming, bruh. Hey, bruh, you ain't streaming, bruh. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Toxic Hustle. My name is J Tragic Jeffrey. This is Toxic Thoughts number 85, where I dump my brain onto the internet, hoping that some of y'all will pivot and be able to crush me in business. For real. What we're going to get into is the need to be able to pivot to multiple markets, right? Being able to jump into markets that you see coming up, because you as a media, first of all, I know there's going to be producers that come here, musicians, beat producers. If you think that your only contribution to the world is music and only music, then you do yourself a disservice. You don't begin to start thinking about how, as a business person, you affect culture, right? And that's where we have to get, that's what we have to do for ourselves. We have to start to begin to do that, to start looking at how we affect culture, because the gatekeepers to your revenue stream aren't there. They're just not anymore. Before, you had to go to a studio. Like, here was the hustle for me. I was in New York. My family's from New York. Shout out to my fam, the New York fam, right? So since my family's in New York, and I came out of the military, the first thing I did was I went back, and I was starting to get into music. I was starting to figure out production, because the producers I was working with overseas were charging so much money, but I was watching guys make beats in their house with synthesizers and all this other stuff, and all this hardware equipment that my dad had the same damn thing. And I was just like, all right. And then but when I saw computers were beginning to come into the mix, as far as just begin to, and this is like late 90s when I got back, when I started seeing Pro Tools and start seeing that it was on an Apple. And I was like, wait, that's a PC. So I can do the same exact thing. I can do the same exact recording sessions that these guys were doing in these buildings for $5,000 a session. Like, come on. It was $5,000 for a recording session. And that was low balling. That's not even if you had a label deal where they jacked up the prices for the labels because the labels got a kickback. Yeah, there's loopholes in them contracts. And when I started, one of the books I read was Confessions of a Record Producer. And having read that book, shout out to Mark for my first boss at Citigroup Private Bank. He was the one that told me, he was like, yeah, the record industry is shady as hell. I mean, I heard Q-Tip say it. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. So kid, watch your back, because I think they smoke crack. I don't doubt it. Look at how they act. And it's the same ish. All around the world is the same song, because everybody's using the Rome strategy. The Rome mega mix keeps recycling. I mean, it was our mix, but it doesn't work. Hence why it keeps breaking. But we still want to romanticize stuff. Romantic. We still want to be romanticized to be like Rome. Right? So give unto Caesar's what Caesar's, but be out of her. But we don't want to do that. We keep basking in it. We keep basking in the dumb-ish. And when you had to go to a label to get through the door, you were basically trying to wrap your way through the front door, trying to get past the secretary, trying to hand somebody a tape. Or you went to club after club after club after club for no money, bringing your own equipment just so that you can maybe get some money at the door for bringing in traffic for people that might come listen to you rap, which you would just be like, everybody's looking for a party. So you would maybe get the door. So then you become the promoter. This is why you see the industry ended up building certain types of business models, because artists who would be able to go in, they could get through the door, ended up being a club promoter. But now we're not doing it like that no more. I can hand my music to a distributor, CD Baby. I don't get paid from them, except for my music royalties. And what I'm able to do is just put my stuff out and immediately get ears. So what we have to look at is, what is radio, if not ears? How does radio work? There's radio waves, right? Radiation waves, right? So sound waves are piggybacking off of these waves, and you need a receiver to pick it up. And that's how you listen to the radio. If you don't have a receiver, you don't hear the radio station. Well, your radio waves are now Wi-Fi and GPS, 4G and 5G type beats. Now your music player is whether or not you stored it in the cloud and are streaming it to yourself, or you have a cloud provider that is holding digitized assets that you've purchased and saying that you have access to them but you don't really hold the actual assets anymore. So if you want to talk about NFTs, if you're on Google Play, you already hold NFTs. They're your albums. You don't really own them. Did you download them and put them someplace else? No. Are they still on the server? Yes. If Google disappeared tomorrow and every album you had there was gone, do you now have them? No. So we act cute and clamorous talking about that with crypto we don't own anything. Well, you don't own anything now. If Spotify disappears tomorrow, a lot of people lose business, but that's why I go to a distributor that puts me on multiple platforms. And those platforms give me my royalties. Now the only thing I have to do is utility. I just have to concentrate on utility of my catalog. My catalog is underneath my ownership, like my own wallet type beats. So you can treat the analog world no different than you treat an NFT because it's already here. You just don't have the word NFT on it. But if you're using CD Baby and they're your distributor, well, all of a sudden you already do. Right? Your music's already on these platforms, that your music's then able to make revenue. Well, then all you have to do is promote your music. How do you do that? Well, then that's you riding the wave of information. You have to then become an aggregator of information. And in becoming an aggregator of information, you then become a media broadcasting company. Smash that like button if you understand that you're making money as a media company now. Come on. We have to be serious about this now. So when I look at companies and I look at what's going on in the world, one, I want to concentrate on my assets, which is what I'm doing with my music, because those are going to be my long-term residuals. I'm looking at my utility, but then I got to begin to look at when those residuals come in, where am I taking that money and where am I placing it so that I can invest it in something else? I'm not buying music equipment. There's only so much music equipment you need to buy. And at this day in age, you need to be creating all your samples or utilizing like things like what MG is bringing out. And I'll be utilizing and doing some live streams with some of MG's music catalog, so that I can build new catalog, and that catalog gets utility in some of the assets that the company's putting out. Like I said, transparency. I'm showing you what a media company looks like from the inside out. It just happens to be a transparent one. There's no smoke and mirrors, no person behind the glass type beats. I do this because I want you to see that you're a media company. Like Joe Rogan is a media company. Like, and all he does is he puts a headphone up, shows you a couple screens, and talks into a microphone. He makes millions. Come on now. Look at what I'm doing. This right here is no different than having a radio broadcast. I just don't go through the whole smoke and mirrors bullshit. Yeah, I have fun. I'll do some voices. I'll do some weird, I'll do some stuff because I'm going to be doing that when I show you the stuff in Unreal 3D. I'm going to have characters. Like, you've got to look long range, no different than anime, like the voiceovers. You don't think I'm going to be a voiceover person for anime? Come on, man. And then have my music be inside these assets long term. Sony owns the catalogs, y'all, and Sony is right there over at BeatStars. I'm not using them for distribution. But if I want them to have some things that can get moved into their catalogs, you don't think I'm going to put it there too? I'm just going to make sure that I own the original masterworks first. So why do I have productivity farming up? Because until we get through all this other rigmarole, we got other bullish to deal with. So when people don't realize is that crypto winter is an ass hole. Pause. Shogun, what's going on? Unreal 5. Yeah, bruh. Yeah. And it's crazy because this whole media experience is about to change. And like I said, you're just going to take media, you're going to make your residuals your revenue. And what you see here is we got to deal with our food and our families, right? We've been reliant upon everybody else feeding us and taking care of us. And what we have to start to begin to do is watch billionaire pockets. I'm sure that y'all have seen on some of these, my girl showed me on TikTok, right? And it's Waka Flocka Flame talking about how he's getting into like in the insurance business. And that's dope, right? Taking his millions, putting it in some insurance thing, and then you can take loans out on that to do other businesses, and it's a good compounding strategy. But for us on the, terra firma, on the ground, but you're already a music creator, he's in a different situation, right? He's not seeing music as an asset no more, because for him it's not anymore, because he sold away a lot of his rights being in the machine. Then the machine's been there for years. Now, the machine hasn't changed. It's just the machine stopped caring about you. The machine doesn't want to nurture you no more, right? So no development deals. You got to develop yourself. And those that rise to the top rise, and those that don't. That's with all products and all businesses. If 9 out of 10 businesses fail, you don't think 9 out of those 10 businesses are going to need a commercial? You don't think 8 of them could be using your soundtrack? Go on TV and listen to the commercials, but pay attention to what's playing in the background. My girl brought it to my attention. She's like, hey, babe, all these commercials got hip hop playing behind them. Insurance companies, it's just hip hop everywhere. And I was like, and it's like Fox, ABC, CBS, in the middle of a medication commercial, they're using the instrumental. If y'all don't know what Audio Jungle is, Audio Jungle I'm going a little off my path, but hold on. Audio Jungle is a place for you to be able to upload your music and be able to, it was one of the first places that you could sell your music online, pieces, snippets, clips, and sell those clips and snippets online. Those snips and clips end up becoming videos that be used in other things, and then they'll reference you. So there's an economy in here, and these videos, these here, if you go to After Effects, right, and then you go to openers, right, you've got event promos. So your music's here in these things, and these could be commercials that end up being on YouTube, Facebook, and you look at the price. What I'm saying is, if you know After Effects and you have access to something like this, you're basically a media company. I would invest $29 into a layout, put it into and utilize it over and over again for different clientele and have it as a library item. And I could make a business that way. You can go to Fiverr or any place else and render videos. I mean, you have to have a good processing computer for all that. And of course, you can try to find online versions of this same hustle by using things like Canva. But the game is coming down a notch. The last thing that these major companies had was outsourcing, y'all. And with a book called 4-Hour Workweek, Timothy Ferris basically broke down that anybody on the planet could have their own outsourcing. And you could build your own companies. You could act digitally just like everybody else. And you could have yourself a 4-hour work week. Get somebody else to manage your business, but have a structure of your business that's so that has a workflow that works in a digital way, optimized. And he'd already proved, because of email and how we work systematically, you can create a system. You don't think you can do that even better now? Especially when you can hook things with, hold on. I'm showing y'all, and this is why this statement I made in the Discord right here, for the whole, and if you're not able to see, if you're driving or something, I said yesterday, I said I wanted to do a toxic thought today, but I'm setting up N8N now, low code / automation system on a cloud provider is my priority task item of the day. And that's tEngine. I'll be talking about that later. But I'm using NAN for it. And this thing connects to Twitter. It connects to Facebook. It connects to multiple content management systems. It right now, oh my Lord, yo, this right here, I'm gonna put you on some, y'all on some something. Hold up. This thing here, Notion. This thing here, I had no idea what this was. Nothing. No idea. I'm telling you right now, I am getting myself an account here because this is another database. But this database can do everything that you basically, again, building. Damn. Like roadmap software. You can have meetings and meeting notes. The biggest thing, and I'm gonna show you on YouTube because it's here that it blew up, and that is Notion and tracking. Let me see. All right, so you can see people are able to make multiple types of systems. People are running their business completely on Notion. People are tracking their trades with Notion. And that's where I started jumping in, which was trade. Trading journals. I'm going to take the word template out. So people have trading journals, and this one here is one of the ones that the most extreme and craziest stock trading journal in Notion. So he has this trading journal, and he's able to show you how he utilizes it. Now I want to build I'm going to be starting to figure this out as well, because I want to have Notion end up being a trading journal. So as the information you'll end up seeing on Toxic Hustle gets put into the system, it will go into a trading journal automatically on the back end using Notion. And then I'll be able to have Notion do calculations and do certain things and then present that data back or get collected later from the system after it's collected, like at, let's say, at the end of the day, be able to collect information and pull that back in. But again, using Notion for trading, there's a bunch of, like, this is my next focus point, because like I said, I want to be able to invest. But the reason why I said a trading journal is it's time to begin looking at acquisition points, figuring out what's going to be important, keywords that are important, like the fact that farming, like I put out information. Do we see a trend in certain keywords coming in? Is the system able to gather analytics for us? Presenting that, and in this way, in a systematic way, we can begin to get trends analysis, be able to see what's going on from a top-down view. And instead of all this scattered information, like where I show you stuff that comes from Maverick of Wall Street, or I show you something that Johnny Bravo's saying, I can be able to start highlighting points because I'm making business decisions. And what I want to do is have a system to kind of do the same thing I'm doing on my own and collecting from the same collection points that I'm looking at, and being able to build out a business system, because I don't believe that we're going to have CEOs running companies anymore. I believe in the Jetsons. When I was a kid, the Jetsons was my hot cartoon. Their predictive programming was, look, when you get older, there's going to be a guy named Spacely Sprockets, or CEO, who's going to be in charge of an entire industry. He's going to have an artificial intelligence and one man manning the helm to just keep an eye on the AI. That's George Jetson's entire premise for being, is he's there to be to basically talk to the AI and keep it from doing crazy shit. To be the voice of reason. He's the heart of the AI. Well, we've got to understand we're now in a systemic situation. Everything is run by machines and computers. The beast runs everything. Unix runs all servers. Unix is on Windows 11. Unix is on your iPhone, your Apple computer. A Unix-based subsystem is there. It's on Google. It's on the Pixel. Every device in the world has a Linux, Unix-based kernel or Unix-based processing subsystem. So what we have to look at is, now we've been systematically systemized, and we now have machines that are all systemized, and all of them are getting ready to be digital robots. Windows owns Power Automate. Power Automate automates desktops. They don't need human beings to input data on any websites that aren't automatable anymore. And if they are, they have APIs to talk to the backend. That's where the automation system comes in. When I say you're a media company, once you get past figuring out how to scale your music, see, I'm already figured out how I'm scaling out my music. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because why would I need a robot system, a catalog system to broadcast stuff at scale if I don't think I could crank out 8 to 10 tracks a day? But why? Unless I know 8 to 10 tracks a day could be utilized at least once a week. Come on now. See, you have to have distribution. And you don't have to have distribution controlled just by CD Baby. No, 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 no. What is distribution? It is your information being able to be transmitted someplace and somebody being able to hear, see, use your information, asset, property. Utilization. And now when you look at places like where N8N, this automation system can talk to, even if you didn't want to build the type of system I'm building, you have Active Campaign, which is an email manager. You have Airtable, which is another programmable type database. You have, if you want to, like Lambda, Amazon Lambda, that's serverless computing on Amazon, a database on Amazon, so you can talk directly to an Amazon database. Comprehend on Amazon, that's their, if you want to pay for their AI. S3 is storage, so if you have images and pictures you need to store in an S3 server. Being able to have a notification system, a queuing system, so you can queue things on the back end. Transcribe, so you can do transcription through for Amazon, and Textract, which is extracting text, I believe, and reading and all that stuff. So you have all of that. Banner Bear to create graphics on the fly. Create shortened links on the fly. This is one of the big ones I'm working with right now. Bubble and Box, these two. Bubble, to be able to use Bubble as because Bubble now has responsive layouts. So I'm going to be designing my websites in Bubble and having my database API in and store that stuff onto the server. So what will happen is I will treat Bubble like it's a robotic database. So it will have stuff from my database, but not everything. So private stuff can stay in another place, separate the key and the lock. So the website has certain information that gets filled there, but certain private information is on a machine off the beaten path, not on the same server, right? So that's security. But we'll have some of that information stored here, but a lot of that's going to be transparent anyway. And I can create, delete, get all, and update. So basically you can build whatever you want on Bubble because you have everything right here to create whatever application you want and control it from someplace else, from N8N. So I don't have to build all of the technology here if I'm controlling it from here, right? Come on, man. Just letting you know. Smart websites. I said it to a customer years ago, y'all. This is how much of a smart ass, and MG is a Sag too. So Sages know we are a-holes, right? I sat there in a meeting with a client, and I told the client, if you don't do what I'm telling you right now, I said that what the client did was they were an artificial intelligence company, right? And what they were going to do was use artificial intelligence to make decisions for what showed up on a website. you hear what I'm saying, right? Okay, so I told them years ago, I had just understood, I started getting a fundamental understanding of what APIs were. So I tell this company that's basically paying my bills for a couple months, because I got to get these contracts and they have a bunch of work because they're trying to get money from venture capital, which was drying out. So this is 2017, 2018, y'all. So things were drying up in the venture capital world. That's why when the halving cycle came, I took real quick note and jumped in fast. But anyway, so I told this company said, look, if you don't jump on having that technology you want to sell, if you don't use it yourself and don't figure out how to use it, you're going to fail because your technology is not even going to matter in a few years. You think you have a competitive advantage and you think that that's important, but it's not. APIs don't make, like when the API system gets right, websites will be able to be controlled by AI, and it's just database entries to logic code. So you have something here, but you need to be using it yourself. He didn't listen. I finished off the project and I walked away. They are nowhere to be found right now. And what I just showed you right here with Bubble is exactly what I was telling them that was about to happen. When you see me jumping around in technologies, when I show you I'm on Builder, I'm on this and that, I will spend as much physical time as I need to find my system of choice. I took my time and I found WordPress at 2.5. I had 3 other content management systems that I was I was messing with. PHP Nuke, PHP website, and then down the line, I was going back and forth between PHP Nuke and PHP website. Both of those things disappeared to the mist. Who won? WordPress. And I picked it at 2.5. I knew that Envato was going to be big. I jumped on that bandwagon, not to make content for them. I already figured that was going to be a flooded market, but I was going to do the utilization of these things in this marketplace and begin to utilize that to make assets for my clients. They had website templates and everything else. So right here, Bubble being controlled by N8N.io, and then me using OpenAI, and I can use that for artificial intelligence. Y'all, their whole shtick just got crushed just that fast. That's their whole business model that they're trying to get millions of dollars for. I just blew that ish away right now with what I just showed you. And this might not even be it. I'm looking at Webflow too, and they're going to have a building system in there. We'll see. Somebody's going to be the number one. This just happens to be a front runner. And the way that I'm going to build my tech is that I'm building it with that thought in play. Why? I don't want to build all my code here. That's like me locking into one system I don't control, right? What do I tell y'all? So what did I do? I put it on my own server. Why? Because N8N Cloud, if you go in here, while I respect them, I only get 15,000 workflow executions a month. That means if you take this and divide it by 30, I'm only going to be able to do 500 transactions a day. That ain't how I need to build my business. No disrespect. I respect it. They have machines and all that other stuff. All right. I paid $40. Boom. I put it up yesterday. I went through the entire thing that they showed me. Had a few things I had to set up for my domain properly to make sure that my domain resolved properly. And now I have unlimited executions on my own damn machine for $40 damn a month. Boom. And now I can do any of the things I want to do here, program it here, and have it control Bubble. Bubble will still do some things, but I don't need it to do everything. And then it doesn't matter if it's Bubble or where's Webflow. Hold on. Hold up. Got to go down. Right? It doesn't matter. Webflow, or if you want to do WordPress. I ain't hating on you if you want to still do WordPress. I just can't scale major applications on WordPress. It's too heavy. That's the reason why I'm taking the time I'm doing. As a web developer who's been wanting to build an application that can have 100 of my homeboys making music with me, which is what I've been trying to do with my homeboys in Macon. Like, I just got back in touch with one of my business partners. What's up, Rick? Shout out. One of my homeboys that, we talked about this years ago. And, I know I disappear. Like, everybody's like, well, what the hell's Jay doing? I'm like, I'm still on my same shit. I ain't never changed. Like, what they like, and I'm gonna put Rick on. I'm gonna have Rick on one night with me, where he was right there, where we used to have conversations on how the media business was changing. And I told him, yo, soon we're gonna be able to have our own radio stations. And look what I'm doing right now. This is no different than any other radio station out there. But I'm not a radio station. I'm a dude with a microphone. Come on, they tripping, y'all. They make it cute and glamorous now, thinking that, this media industry is bigger than it is, and it never was. It's just they controlled the technology that was expensive at a time. Your cameras were expensive. To be able to film on the street was expensive. Now you have a camera, you film on the street, everybody's filming on the street. That can be a motion picture now. You have the right camera, the right editing software, the right effects plugins. That can be a movie, and it will be okay. Especially if it's a web series movie or a web television show. So where's the screenwriters at? If you got homeboys that write poetry, why aren't y'all working together? Taking his poetry deals with your music streaming in the background because you've already put it on CD, baby, and you're making royalties any freaking way, and he gets the exposure. What about the artist friends that you have that have graphic skills? Why not make videos where some of their art's on display and have your, again, music in the background? This is why I say y'all are media companies. Why? If you have to make a beat video and to put your beat behind it and you put it out, well, guess what? Duh, there you go. Now take that, think for everybody else, and put them with your asset on other channels. Or you can do it on your channel and just utilize their art. Give them the shout out, the credit, and the link back to their website. If they don't have a website, help them get one up. $50. Bow. There's your money for food. Get paid via PayPal. That's it, y'all. It's not that freaking hard. Because you're the music person, you have the asset. You have an asset that can be utilized. If you take your asset and put it in a creative way, you now have utility. Put your utility out. Now you make money on the back end from your royalties, CD baby, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on the other new thing that Reso, whatever thing, that new thing they got on TikTok, on Apple, on Google, on Amazon, on Cupid, on Browner, on Blitzen. Smash that like button if you now understand you're still a media company. I'm not trying, look, as a producer, you have instant utilization. As a rapper or MC, I have to get to the part of doing the work of making a song, having a good hook, putting it together, and getting it out. You can be utilized by an insurance company. Day one. No extra work. So this is why I show you, like controlling your YouTube presence. Bang. Twilio. That's sending SMS messages, right? So text messages. Trello, that you can manage your own project management system internally, which is what I'm doing. Now I have this system to be able to control things on the back end. Different types of content management system for Node.js. You can control Stripe. Shopify. Didn't I tell you they just had the Lightning Network? So if you had a Shopify site, boom, boom, boom. Want to send emails to your customers, want to do all this, you do it all from the back end here. All of it can be done from this back end. It's just about figuring out how to create these nodes. Start, get HUD trigger, and do something. Something happens here. If that happens, do this. If something else happens, do that. These are the businesses we've got to build now because it's just data bits and it's your data bits. It's your data. What does it do? Where does it go? If it's your song, where is it located? That's one of the things I'm building in Toxic Hustle. I'm building a catalog system for myself. So not only do I see the utility of my assets, of my catalog finally in a way that I need, but I can now take that same database and create utility, even more utility, for stuff that gets how it's promoted on these platforms. And then I can look at my statistics over time better and get the statistics I want to be able to make different business decisions. And I can build these on whatever UI that is. I can build these things myself, build these APIs myself, be able to have a system to be able to store this data myself. So it's important to be able to create systems of your utility, which is no different than what every label's supposed to be doing for you, but they just want the money and tell you go tour, go tour, go tour, go tour, go tour. Figure it out. Oh, we have this old ass way that we make money and this is how you're going to make it. No, that don't work no more, man. All of their ports of entry and exit are dried up because they're too top heavy now. There's too much politics. There's like every other company on the planet. And this is guerrilla marketing guerrilla warfare at this time, right? Guerrilla marketing, guerrilla warfare. So all of you need to start acting like more major companies from the ground up. So what are all these companies doing? What are these billionaires doing? They're buying farmland, right? So before we get into our farm talk, because the reason why is I want assets. Those assets are going to be purchased. I'm going to want land. I want to be able to sell my food or whatever. And if it's automatable, come on now. Or to even just ensure my own food or my community's food. Feel me? So depending on how things go, there's a big amounts of revenue to be made in this market environment that's about to be stupid. What are the new technologies for fertilization? How do we create more nutrients? What do we do to not create synthetic nutrients, but how do we create our own organic nutrients to replenish? Like, we need to think on different scales and levels, because now whatever they're doing just don't work no more. And we're going to make assets. So if we're making assets, we're making revenue, we're making residuals. You don't just stick it in a market, stick it in the market, stick it in a market, stick it in the market, stick it in real estate, stick it in the market, stick it in the real estate, stick it in the market. Nah. You have to have other asset classes. You have to have other things. You can do art, but you can also invest on the other end of the art by its exposure. Then you earn the revenue to buy the art yourself or to buy into said art. Or you look at farmland and you look at what farmland needs and you supply or buy into knowing that those needs are going to be higher soon. So right now, our farmers are growing soy instead of corn because there's a fertilizer shortage. But I thought this is the land of the maize. And we ain't growing no corn. Something's off. It's because they are controlling the food supply. And they're controlling the narrative of what this economy, this land is supposed to bear in its fruit. So maybe it's time to bear your own fruit. So you can start making the determinations. There's so much investment and so much revenue in farming. Like, look, just manure alone, like cows, not to be eaten, but for fertilizer. What we've done is we've gone to just kill the cow, kill the cow, kill the cow, kill the cow. Oh, methane's bad. Kill the cow, kill the cow, kill the cow. But we don't sit there and say, hey, let's nurture nature. Let's figure out how we can use biomaterial to create new fertilization methods. And especially being in the food industry and how we deal with waste, I'm thinking that that's going to be huge. So let's first deal with the charts. Give me a second. There we go. So One of the big things we're going to deal with is I'm using the old chart because I still haven't done all of this seasons of Bitcoin on my new trading view. But I want you to see something. And I'm serious, man. Bitcoin follows a pattern. And I'm repetitive with this because I don't change my narrative. That's why I'm a boring crypto guy if you're here for just crypto. I'm a real boring crypto guy because if you're chasing information and I tell you there's a halving cycle, then it gets real boring. And then I said it last year. I said, look, watch what happens to all of your big crypto channels after April. And you're already seeing a lot of them are slowing down on content. A lot of them are kind of like, I don't know what's going on. And look at your stock guys now. In November, I was like, yo, I started learning about the economy. By December, I had a decent grasp to understand that things were kind of bad. By January, I was short in the market. And I still haven't moved my trades. Like I did when the market spiked, I didn't even look at the stock market. I didn't look at my account. I went ahead and just I was like, you know what? I got to focus on I got to figure the UI. I need a website. I need a place that can be controlled by my robot. So I need to figure out what platform. Is it APIs that I got to do it? What do I have to do? So I'm going to have to learn these APIs. I'm going to learn JSON. I'm going to learn all of this while I'm learning the economy. I'm a weirdo like that. The good kind of weirdo, not those demonic weirdos, right? So here's the last halving cycle, 2016, 2017, right? And if you go back to April, March, that was the low of the low. So wait, hold on. Let's go back to 2016. And let me just zoom this up, right? So that we can go back in time, right? So here's 2016 halving cycle, right? So here it is, the halving cycle. Then 2016 of November. Then it goes up for a second in January, crashes down in January. Then you see January spikes up around February, tops off around March, which we just went through, drops down around March, right? Then around the end of March, spikes up again, which we just saw not too long ago. Then now with the next week that's coming up, we're going to see a serious drop that drops down. Okay. So that's before this. Now this is the halving cycle. So this is the halving cycle, right? Start. Then in 2017, we have the skyrocket pump. Bow, boom. It blows down and drops. Now, reason why I went to the halving cycle spike and you see this run up is because this is the other side of this halving cycle, the good side of this. When this happens and the January dip happens, that begins crypto winter, like this January you just saw. Then look what happens. It goes down February, you go up in about February, right? There you go. March drops down. Towards the end of March, begins to spike back up. April, that's what we saw for a quick second. It's going to spike back up. Then come May, begin to fall all the way back down. This is that May, June dip that I was talking about. Really, I need to put it around May 7th instead of June. And that's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Since I just saw this now, I want to put that on the new Bitcoin crypto winter. May. When was that? May. When? The first week of May? Yeah, first week of May. About the first week of May. Boom, 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 boom. That would be the second right there. So that is where the next dip will be. Or roundabout. Roundabout to here. In fact, I'm going to move it I'm going to move it here just so I have that cushion that if it happens here, if it waits a week, because we kind of been delayed sometimes. This dip, did it happen? Hold on, let me turn off something real fast. Give me 1 second. There we go. Yeah, this dip happened when it said it was going to. This one fell where it was. This one fell where it was. This one didn't. So this is why I said it might have been an early. This one fell where it did. That's wrong way. Hold on. Just delete it and just copy and paste that again. And drag that right here. That fell where it fell. That fell where it fell. That fell where it fell. This one did. Okay, cool. Now turn that back on. Oops. Where is it? Lux Algo. There we are. All right. So we go this run up, May, then we have this dip. Dip, dip, dip. Then, if you go all the way, notice what happens. It tapers out, tapers out. You just see this very slow drop, drop. And then November dip drops it out, and around March timeframe, right around here, January, here's February, right around around February is the bottom. March, February is the bottom of the bottom. This is where the buy-in. So next year, March will be the bottom of the bottom. So what you're seeing, spike, drop, higher lows, higher low, higher low. Now let's go to the future, since we now have mapped it out. So we're going to go to the future, what we're living right now, so that you can see Bitcoin hits different. Hold on. I need to go to this chart. Sorry. So now, if we stretch this out a little bit and crush it up a little bit, you'll start seeing it just a little bit. Goes up here. Here's our November low. We bounce up here. It's coming down to be low. It's going to just do this, come up, hit its head off some ish. It's not going to go back up here because now it's down here. And the next one will be down here. See what I'm saying? So and then the next, see how these dips, these are the areas from where that's what you see when I was showing you on that chart. What I'm showing you here, when I go back in the past. And then scroll up, right? That's what I'm showing you here. Here, orange, yellow, purple. So the March time frame, the June time frame, the September time frame, and the November time frame. June will be down lower. The September time frame, September, bloop. November, big drop, like you saw the last November. November is a serious drop. There it is. So you're going to see it, doo-doop, 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 doo-doop. And that's why my estimates are we'll probably be in the 28K zone. So, and we're beating our heads off to 25. On the daily, yeah, that thing's going to drop back down. It's going to fall. So, and look, we're curling to the negative. We're in a negative. Right now, the RSI hasn't flipped negative. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But it's already negative here, here, and here. So if we go on the 4 hour where the robots play, yeah, we're getting ready to peak negative again. It's a little bit positive momentum swinging up. Yeah, there's some momentum swinging up on a positive trend. But it's only holding, look, if you look at it as 0.05%. And again, it's fighting certain lines right now. There's a war going on outside. No one is safe. They need this right now. They need it to close above this line. But you can see, hold on, let me move this stuff out of the way. You can see for the week, it's going to close below these lines. That means next week's going to be a serious potential dip point. It's going to lose this battle. When it loses that battle, it's going to be bad to the bone. It's fighting for it now. Hold on. Let me turn off this Lux algo again. Let me see. Yeah, see, we're negative for the week. So we're going to close down below the 25 again. And now the 50. Once it closes below the 50, it's going to drop like a stone. And we're fighting we just got past a major purple line, and we're getting ready to hit another one right here. So yeah, BTC's got some it's got some fighting to do. And that's why I tell you, this is crypto winter. It ain't gonna matter. And this is why I'm not even focused on the markets as a whole. And it's not just here. If you're looking at the total market, the Russell is slightly up, right? If we go over here to the Russell 2000, look at what the Russell's doing. If we go on the daily, it's underneath the 200-day moving average. That's already bare. Everybody else can play inter-day, inter-week, inter-month. I don't have any inter-time for that shit. I've got to sit there and concentrate on how the company moves through potentially stagnant waters. Like, what if the market only goes up 4%? RTP, what up, what up? You know, what if the market only goes up 4% for the entire year? And all right, so people who are used to seeing 20, 30% on certain their high yield investments, and they have a lifestyle that's a little bit too expensive, ain't gonna liquidate the same places where they liquidated during this year. You don't think November is gonna be October, November, September is gonna be not a bad time for folks when these people are systematically always selling and the robots are systematically always selling? It's the same BS. So for me, if I look at the S&P 500, looky. Look where they fighting. That 200-day moving average. But guess what, y'all? Our pockets are still under. Look. Linda, listen. The Federal Reserve, Linda, is saying that 7.3 is how much we had in 2019 before Pikachu, right? Omarion, right? Before all of that, look at our numbers now. 6.3, 7.3, 6.3. I think that's lower, Linda. So our pockets are empty, Linda, and it went up a little. Why? That is called taxes. Some people file early, and when those taxes come in, they take those returns and they stick it back in the market, chasing FOMO, because never fight the Fed. Well, why are they fighting the Fed now when the Fed has inflation rates that are blowing their doors off and they can't even manipulate the numbers down low enough? Like, they can't even manipulate the shit low enough. Like, it just keeps ballooning out of control. And they're not even using things like gas and real rent. They're losing homeowner whatever numbers, which is BS. Inflation is mega high, but they don't want to deal with that, right? And if we look at the inflation numbers, according to Shadow Stats, dude, we're talking 15%, over 15%, closer to 16% on average. Though we felt in the food industry, I'm telling you right now, beef is ridiculous. The cost is ridiculous. And having to turn that and turn that on a consumer, it's a hard choice to make for a lot of businesses, and they've had no choice. The costs are ballooning, y'all, and it's ridiculous. I'm watching restaurants shut down. People that had contracts, that were thinking about doing contracts with other vendors, their restaurant is shutting down, so it doesn't even make any sense. And then I'm looking at trade magazines saying that across the nation. I don't talk about it much because it's disheartening to watch the core businesses fail. But the thing that I'm learning from like Maverick of Wall Street and people like Johnny Bravo is really about the back end finances, right? It's really about the back end finances, like these companies that have debt. This debt is not the same debt that you and I have. It's almost the same as credit card debt, but these businesses have credit card debt. They can try to push it, but they don't have the materials for it, man. Unless they're going to be feeding human cells to everybody. It's like a jungle sometimes. What you could go. But I ain't talking about that because I like my channel. Hello, Google. Right? So right now, they don't even have enough. The technology to do that isn't even ready to do it at mass scale. Besides this bogus crap that they got now, but we've been eating fake meat. It's the same crap we've been eating in school. Come on, man. Pink meat. Everybody forgot about pink slime. What? Everybody forgot about this? Or y'all didn't remember this? This was all of our food. Was pink slime. Pink slime is a meat byproduct used as a food additive to ground beef and beef paste products as a filler, or to reduce the overall fat content. So when they were talking about this is lower in fat, or they were taking the beef, because a lot of the beef that we're getting is just laden in fat because of how they're raised on corn. There's a documentary about that, King Corn. Y'all should look into that. It changes you. You're basically biometrically corn now on a subatomic level. You are corn. And that's what's funny about if you go Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty actually did an homage to that. They were looking for a new Earth, and they found one that was made of corn. Strawberries on a cob. Oh, yeah. Strawberries on a cob. It was like ants on a cob. And it was like everything is of a cob. And when he did this, like there was ants on a cob, and molecularly everything was corn. Everything was on a cob. And the thing is, on King Corn, they have it on YouTube. So there's your documentary, the full King Corn documentary. King Corn is a documentary released October 2007 that follows college friends as they move from Boston to Greene, Iowa to grow and farm an acre of corn. And they follow it basically back to where it ended up being a byproduct. And it ended up becoming like a burger at McDonald's. Right? It like followed the meat, it being all of that. So that's a good documentary to figure out, like, everything is made of corn. Like, you're basically biometrically corn now, just because everything is eating corn or consuming corn. So this inflation, like the fact is that with the growth industry or agriculture industry having its issues right now, we've got to see that getting ready to hit our pockets harder. Like it's 6 months. So if you see something, it takes a cycle of 6 months for it to run through, 3 to 6 months for it to to start running through the system. Some things go faster than others. Beef just happens to be one of the fast ones. Yeah, Shogun. For 2 years, everybody's talking about that. No, but like nobody's like, oh, we're not doing it anymore. Well, now everybody's eating this, this fake ass meat. Like, okay, well now, oh yes, I'm vegan because I eat mushroom pus. Like, come on, man. Stop it. We gotta get better. We gotta go back to what we did. And the thing is, it's again going back to what you did. Did you not own land? Yes. Did you not grow crops? Yes. Did you not have, if you had if you had an estate, Did you not have people that were running those farms and were part of your, you know, your share crop? Yes. So what happened? We just forgot we were in charge of shit. And we let weirdos and scallywags do to us whatever they wanted to do and continue to do. Well, now, we're kind of just like done with that ish. So if I sit there and say, all right, y'all, it's as simple as you uploading your music to CD Baby and now you're a media company. Why? The only thing you have to concentrate on is the utility of your music now, which was no different than if you were a media company with a catalog and you needed to figure out what to do with it. Well, now you have all of these companies, Facebook, Instagram, all these ones that we run off over and over, all of them giving you royalties. So then the only thing is you have to create content for their freaking platform. Video. Yeah, we created the corn wave. It comes from the maize, comes from here. They try to grow it in like cold ass places like weirdos, and they keep like trying to modify it, and just like their dogs with weird short legs. Like, come on, man. Like we make simple things real hard. The thing is that we don't want to take ownership no more. We don't want to take control of shit. We want to party and we want to do that. I ain't got time for it, man. I don't have time to party and bullshit. Like, look, generational wealth don't mean ish if you don't have any systematic residuals. Generational wealth don't mean ish if you do not have some form of systematic residuals. Systematic. Now they're digitizing everything. Y'all, at the birth of the email was the fall of the corporate business. I'm going to say that one more time. The birth of the email was the birth of the fall of the corporate structure. I no longer needed to walk an envelope, have a courier, have a mail room, none of that shit no more. I gutted my whole building. The whole reason of having the drop thing and all that stuff in the buildings and the elevators, all of that. And the people, the mail boy, you can make it. You go work from the mail room to the boardroom. That whole dream, dead. You can't get in the mail room. They don't get mail like that no more. Just like the lady that used to be on the number 0. You push when the phones used to attach to a wall and you couldn't walk outside with them. You pushed the number 0 and a lady talked to you, and she would route you to the telephone number of a person or a place you were looking for. Kind of like what Google does now automatically. Kind of like if you just say, hey, call blah, blah, blah down the street, it'll just dial and do it for you. Hey, call McDonald's, or hey, call blah, blah, blah on Cherry Jane Road. And boom, it'll call them. If you haven't done that before, it's real fast. Like, I'll make an order to someplace to go pick it up and just say, hey, call blah, blah, blah on blah, blah, blah road. But as our spending has to be limited, that means disposable income, y'all, as a business. I have to look at this as a business. And I lived the last recession in a digital business. I was in Second Life, as y'all know. And I innately learned a hard lesson about digital, which is, while digital's cheap, virtual games are not. You need a broadband internet. You need to be paying that broadband internet. And you need to be sitting at that computer to be able to do this thing. You can even do, if you want to do VR, that's fine. You still need to have a broadband internet to deal with the streaming that's necessary for that ish. Plus, you have to pay for those robo goggles and to be Terminator fly. With big ass bug eyes. You'd be like the robo fly with no wings. connected to a damn wireless controller, or you're plugged into a wall and running into the walls and the tables and whatever. Right? So none of that ish. That right there is when the economy flipped. When I was in Second Life, boom, people couldn't pay for that. They couldn't pay for their broadband no more. Some people were selling their computers to be able to get some money because I got to start selling things. Pawn shops, big business, eBay. People start offloading ish. TVs are getting offloaded. When you start seeing computer parts and everything go, look, start watching eBay, y'all, and watch the sales start running in. Start tracking them, as especially come fall when the surpluses are over, because nobody has any more money to just go buy. These earnings are going to start dropping. This is it, y'all. I told y'all the end of April. Just watch. I'm waiting for the end of April. Why? Earnings season. This is the first quarter's earnings season. We're going to start seeing the crack. We're going to find out what happened at the last of the quarter. How many people got their ass handed to them? And you're going to see things. What does Johnny Bravo say? Sell at earnings? Because typically at earnings, everything drops because people are going to disappoint y'all. Again, if I give you a bunch of money that I printed for free, made up because everybody went home. So I made up some money while everybody was home, and how you got paid was supposed to be off your energy, labor, or system, being part of a system that manifested and manufactured revenue, right? That's what companies are supposed to do. They're supposed to print money, and they're supposed to grow. They'll grow X amount per annum, right? Or per quarter, or per whatever. We think our growth is blah, 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 and the next blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. All right, show me, Playboy. Let's go. But now, if I give you a bunch of a bunch of money while you're sitting there and you throw it all in the market, I didn't create new labor. I have the same problem of you sitting home. Like, look, most of my labor force isn't here right now. They're at home. I'm taking loans and doing this, and all of that stuff is now cracking underneath the pressure. How do you push the market, raise the roof when nobody has any capital to raise the roof with? That's the reason why I got into my shorts in January and I haven't moved them. And I've been focusing on cash flow. Whereas my product, service, subscription, residual / royalty. My products can be print on demand products, y'all. And I don't need to sell them. I can do NFTs. I don't need to do that right now. I can focus on the utility of my products and getting clients in service for designing advertising and advertisements for social media using my music. So they're paying me to get utility. Come on, man. All I got to do is design some videos and commercials and charge them. Like, look, I can charge cheap for music promotion. $25 for a commercial video for the launch of somebody's music product. Right? Somebody could be like, oh, I'm getting an album release. All right, let me do your commercial. I'll charge you $25. Bang. And I can either do all the work myself, or I can find a template that's cheap enough for me to keep some of that money for myself. Or I can have a system of templates so that I can just charge $25, but I just utilize my templates and then I just recoup the value just by continuing to do work. And as I make $100, $25 of it buys a new template. Y'all, at what nobody else is going to tell you is if through this whole freelance economy you're about to live through, and I've been living it. I've been out of work since 2016, but I've been living a freelance economy, and venture capital dries up. The minute venture capital dries up, I've lived that too, and I know what goes down. The next thing is People are going to have cash flow, y'all. Look, the neighborhood homeboy who's still doing what they do is still making music, right? He still has his clientele, right? Well, he just so happens to have a PayPal account and will pay you $25 to make a graphic for his work. I'm just saying, street level shit. Become the person that helps the people around you blow up. Give beats away if it's going to turn back around and get back on the internet, and you're going to get a royalty play out of it because the system knows it's your content. You know what I mean? See, what is our biggest problem as producers? Give me that beat, give me that beat, give me that beat. Y'all, look, I love music too, and I hate the fact that we can't. I hate the fact that when I first got in this game, selling a beat was $5,000, y'all. Don't talk to me. I'm gonna brush my shoulder. Don't talk to me. My homeboy was making $5,000. That's why I came in this game. I was like, oh shoot, you getting what, my boy? And you in New York? You're not in Cali? And I found out some of my Cali friends were making $10,000 a beat, $15,000 a beat. My Miami friends were starting to make like $25,000 a beat. Nah, man. I was watching poop, 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 poop. Southern people started cranking out beats, and then it was like, then all of a sudden FL Studio came and beats are $25. Gown. Beats are like $5 for $25. I'm part of that. Look, our music is going to micropayments. And they can only get those micropayments so small, but it doesn't matter. They're micropayments now. And the media company is Facebook, YouTube, and like Facebook is ABC. They are CBS. TikTok is a channel. They are like their own conspiracy network. You just got to see networks now. You've got to look at these networks and understand your content makes money in all of them now. So these are the networks. The phone that you hold in your hand is the new TV screen. The highest I've ever sold one was $5,000. And that was about 5 years ago. For somebody in California. Weed country, man. He sold in a dispensary and he had cash. He was making stupid cash. And he was like, here, he's just buying beats like it was nothing. But then the economy started getting tight on him, so he stopped really working on his album. That's when I knew things were too rough, when you're in weed country and things are getting tight. But that's when I started realizing California was going to have its own internal issues and people were starting to leave. Corporations were leaving. Elon was shifty, low down, gritty, and grimy. Well, how he was telling other companies, yo, screw that. Go to Texas. I'm thinking about it. Let's go. So for us, what is the core necessity we need in life? Well, shit, our core necessity is food. These jackasses don't know what they're doing, have just thrown poison after poison after poison. And I'm watching videos where you boil some oranges and orange skins and you pour it in the damn ground and the bugs don't come. Are you serious? Because they don't want to use nature and nurture. They just want cheap profits and blah, 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 blah. They have no long-term business cycle, y'all. And that is why I talk to y'all the way I talk to you. Because it's no different than how I talk to myself. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm an asshole. You should hear how disrespectful I am to myself. And I'll be the first one to say, you stupid. You still trying to get a job for somebody that still thinks that a company is and driving to a business fiscally make sense in a world of 5G? What is it? Wi-Fi 6? Stop playing. And you know they want their 666. Wi-Fi 6, 6G, and of course the IP6 protocol. Stop playing. Oh, yeah. Come on. You know what? I'm going to save that for tomorrow. We're going to have a Sabbath talk on that. Hold that one. Pin that for tomorrow. We're going to stay on point. In fact, we'll do that tomorrow. So now let's we've talked about the market. Okay. Rise of food prices and the agribiz. Okay. Billionaires have been buying up farmland for years. Okay. And thoughts on the autonomous farm equipment video. All right. So we've already talked about Jeff Bezos buying up farmland. Even MG. Shout out to MG the Future. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Right, I said, so Gates and Bezos are grabbing up all that farmland. And MG was one of the first one to put that Think Smart Man symbol right there, right? So, and then, of course, our economy, the public libraries in the mall, right? So they've got public libraries in the mall. Now, think about that, y'all. Your public library is in a mall. It's paying rent to the mall. Who's going to the library in the mall? So is government money going to the malls to hold up and prop up the commercial real estate industry? Slightly? Really? That's what we're doing now. So in this video, that's what's popping off. And I was just surprised at that. And I think that just goes, that's a huge, like I said, economically, just about them. Look at malls in general, y'all. Like, we're not even dealing with the fact that mall, like $100 million spent malls are going out of business, having not recouped their value, and are probably in somebody's derivative on another derivative and on another derivative in this economy. We're not. The company that laid me off used in 2016 used to have an office building. They then went to WeWork. They then went home. I got laid off in between the transition from WeWork to everybody just go home. I worked for a wealth manager who, I worked for a wealth manager that had wealth education. I've said his name a couple times, but I don't want to get hit with no damn whatevers. So in doing so, being a developer for that, I saw the dry up of the industries and I saw the dry up of capitalization. And then 2020 hit. March of 2020, I said, I'm out. You're still talking real estate. This thing ain't going to stop. We going to be in this for another couple years. Nobody wanted to believe me. They believe me now. This situation don't change. Crypto goes through crypto winter, which means ain't nobody going to be spending like that. Then you have an economic cycle in which the Fed don't have no more room to print. We're going to get there. All right, we're going to get there. Hold on. Damn, crypto shot 5 times in New York. Your medicine is going to be, so the entire pharmaceutical industry is going to be robotic, right? Then they released oil reserves, so you see the gas price going down, but that's not going to do anything because, like I told you, the Saudi Arabian prince told, I don't care what Biden, he thinks I misunderstand nothing, my nigga. I ain't buying, I ain't doing nothing I don't want to do. What you gonna do? Drop bombs? Do something. I'll pull your oil. Right? I will jack your prices up. Don't play with me. Right? That's why I'm like, oh, we got to go to EV. We got to go to EV. Y'all, there's no, you got nickel. You got uranium. Not uranium. You got nickel. You got copper. You got silver. You got some palladium. Like, what makes up a, what? Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just do this. Come on. I'm gonna show you what your commodity play. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you raw, pause. Right. Let's go to EV batteries. Before we deal with your gold and commodity issues, I want to show you what a bigger picture, because it's not about rubles and gold, because ruble is paper, just like dollar is paper, and if dollar ain't ish, all fiat ain't ish, because all of them have central banks. So, what's going on with gold? What's going on with commodities? Okay, what is a commodity? When I'm telling you about farmland, I'm telling you about urea, fertilizer, the things that the farm needs, the corn needs to grow. What did that guy that I learned from Canon, USA, my homeboy Omar, shout out to Omar. He's a millionaire, and he worked his family makes money, and he just worked because he liked to be around people and he thought they were interesting, like funny to laugh at type beats. That's what happens when you have so much money and you work just so you can laugh at the regular folk. And he was cool as hell. It wasn't like he was pompous. Well, he kind of was pompous, but Omar, I'm right. You be on some pomposity, my bro. And he was like, yo, he's like, I'll buy Apple stock, but it's kind of high, and I'll just get the copper that goes inside of it. The circuit board, there'll be silver and some platinum and copper. Right, so inside an electric vehicle, I know I spelled the hell out of that. Yeah, I did. All right. And then we're going to say minerals. All right. So, boom. You need for the batteries, right? So let's go. So electric vehicle battery. Let's get it down to a science. So lithium, cobalt, and nickel, key minerals used to make lithium ion batteries used in electric vehicles. It's also used in your phone. Everybody went to paper because everybody got greedy. Greed. What is it? Greed is good. Back in the day, what is it? Who was it? Michael Keaton? No, Michael Douglas. Greed. Gecko. Gordon Gecko, which was based off of Greed. GREE is good. Is Wall Street, the movie. Gordon Gecko, who was based off of Greed is good. Based off of. He's based off of. Damn it. Let me see if it's here. Greed is good. Based on instead of off. Based on. Carl Icahn. There it is. There it is. Hold on. Let me just check. All right, good. I'll make sure everything's still running. So, Carl Icahn. So this whole greed is good scenario. Oops, shit. Go back. Bring it back here. Bring this here. So let's go back one more stop. So you're looking at lithium, graphite, cobalt, manganese, and nickel. 55% nickel. Where is nickel manufactured? Nickel. Search for nickel. Production by country. There we go. Right on Google search engine. Indonesia, Philippines, Russia. Come on. Look at the United States nickel. The world, Indonesia, Philippines, Russia. Russia's third. The Philippines and Indonesia is where this nickel comes out of. So this hurts. Not just like, so everybody's talking about go to EV, go to EVs, go to EVs. So all these politicians talking that crap is setting up the bobo. What they're doing is they're buying up all the commodities. They're buying them cheap because they know they're going to pump because the paper ain't worth ish no more, which is why insiders continue to sell. They get it innately. So what's going on is that the commodity, like, okay, gold is still necessary for computers. Computers are still going to be manufactured next year. Silver, nickel, all of this stuff is needed for motherboards and all that stuff. That's still going to be needed next year. There's still going to be more machines. Do we have a recycling center to re-get these things that go into the landfills? No. They don't even repurpose these things properly. We're just throwing away minerals over and over, and nothing's coming out of it. So what's happening is now there is a rampant now, and they've been suppressing the market. So that's another thing. The options market, these markets are created. The Chicago Exchange was created to take money away from people buying gold directly. If I could go someplace else and speculate on it, and that's exactly what's happened. They've taken the world's money and people have been speculating. We're getting to the point where they can't speculate no more. There's not enough money to print as the market begins to topple back down. Sucks, but that's the cycle. So what I'm doing right now is I'm concentrating on, okay, it's not just this. This is farmland. Like some of this stuff is needed for farming to get those minerals in the plants that you eat to get the minerals. Like, so we're in a very bad loop while we're going through a crop shortage, which is some BS because we want to grow soy instead of corn and wheat and grains, healthy grains for livestock. Instead of we were just growing corn and stuffing it into beef. Now we're buying corn to stuff into beef. Now we're just buying beef. Well, now with everything breaking down, all the shipping lanes and everything breaking down, their thought process of, well, let's outsource it to everybody is failing them. Which has been failing their corporate world, but now everything ripples down. It starts at home office, and then it ripples through the system, and it goes all the way to the analog, right? So it starts at Wall Street and ripples through Main Street. It's not just the stock market, it's how the market functions as a whole. So how the market has functioned has not been on actual assets being created. It's been on the Fed propping up a market that's been failing since 2001. Well, since 2000. Since they've been printing money to prop it up. Well, the hens have come to roost, and the last boomer is at helm. Get ready. So my transition is this. I got to concentrate on food. It's the biggest cost. How do I know? My girl's a chef. It's that simple. Innately, I'm in the food supply and seeing the logistics nightmares for shipping. even localized shipping, and seeing the costs balloon out of control. And I see who has the cash flow and revenue to be able to continue to buy and get food delivered to their home. And straight up, they've already sold them out the market. And this whole narrative with the whole Ruski and all that stuff going down, y'all, I'm telling you right now, this is a puppet, show you the hands move. This whole Russian thing is straight fugazi. Not saying that the lives lost or none of that. No. This is that I need shock and awe over here to keep you from seeing what's going on over here. Hey, you worry about way over there. When over here, hold on. Let's deal with this. Farmers growing soy. We're in the corn belt. Corn. Why the hell these people just selling high fertilizers prices drive U.S. farmers to plant more soy than corn? Plastic. Soy. Plastics made from soybean protein. Stop it. Are you serious? Why do I want plastic food? So now you're going to serve, well, you need soy. What soy protein, right? No. Don't play with me. Hold on. Going through a path. Hold on. Soy and Impossible Burger. Come on. Why we use soy in Impossible Burger? Come on, stop playing with me. There's your beef right there. They're going to genetically create soy to genetically create meat, and that is going to be the meat rather than the corn. You're just not, the farmers get subsidies. Stop playing with me. Farmers get subsidies. Yes, the entire thing about them needing to do that. And it's such a hard thing because, the fertilizers are so expensive. We can't figure out no natural fertilizer whatsoever to do nothing else. We've got to go to soy because it's not like we're told. It's not like we're given grains at a specific rate. It's not like we're given subsidies to be told what to grow. No, not at all. Pootie tay, the dama day on the tippy tay. Oh shit, homie. Hate to see it, as NG would say. I hate to see it, bruh. Yo, this is so to answer your question, man. This fugazi is really ain't nobody got no food. Ain't nobody got no real commodity. Now need these prices to go up. Let us now create this scarcity play so that every single mineral now is going to blow the hell up. We have suppressed the market. The market can no longer be held down, and like a spring, it shall spring out. Because again, oil is still going to be oil. Plastics are still going to be made with oil. Plastics are still going to be used everywhere until they stop using them. Hence, soy will be used for meat. Soy can be used for plastics. They are trying to industrialize their plastic game by feeding us plastic meat and plastic. Well, we're already plastic. It's all in us. Prephalines and all the other shit. Like, that's why I'm like, yo, I'm not playing with the farm game. So let's do this. Let's go into the video. I want to show y'all. It's time. Let's go into this. I put a video out on the Discord room. You can use the keyword autonomous. Hold on. You can use the keyword keywords, high productivity farming, but what I started with was autonomous farm equipment, right? And in putting in that keyword, autonomous farm equipment, the 10 advanced autonomous tractors and farming machines. Now, what I'm going to do is speed hack this because I'm not going to have the sound on. I already have it muted. So I can just kind of walk you through some stuff. So there's a lot of different types of vehicles that are out there, right? So this is one of them. This does strawberries, y'all. So of course, strawberries are expensive. So how they're going to be doing these grow farms is now they can systematically begin to do the hard things by growing specific types of way, using gravity, using agroponics. They're able to systematically create bigger and larger grows and use those robots another way. This is another tractor that is now using any type of the standard equipment they have, but it's fully autonomous. You can map via this, via software, and it helps you. It helps you to be able to get better yields, right? So you can use any of the hitches, standardized hitches that you have, and it works a lot faster, right? That's its working speed. So because of the fact, now, so think about this system that they're building, these systems they're building, these things are going to do the work of everything that they do much faster because it's just like a Roomba, right? But just think of it like that technology is now in the field and they're able to scale. So this thing is going to be working fast. 3D obstacle detection. They have global position. So you're seeing what it's doing. It's got this thing in for detection. So you have some type of sensor. You have interactive heartbeat. That's interesting. Interactive heartbeat, huh? So we got machines that have heartbeats. All right. Precise and safe positioning so that you can position in the field and do whatever they need to do, right? So another one, these are different. So, of course, some solar panel, and it tills. So you can see it can actually weed the ground around the plants. And let's look at that. It has tracks, and it just takes its time and just does this work. And just doing this, you get less pesticide use because you don't need to use pesticides because the weeds become the mulch around the plant. So again, why Bill Gates is in farmland, why Amazon is in farmland is for automation purposes of food. What does he own? Amazon, Bezos. This is on the fly, y'all, because I'm just working off my spirit at this point. What is Jeff Bezos got right now? And smash the like button. Smash the like button if I'm giving you something you can fit you. Look, Bezos got what? He's got the stores, right? He's got supermarkets. He's got Whole Foods. So what better way to guarantee the food for your business than to have an automatic farm that's utilizing your infrastructure from Amazon Web Services that in the field, from the field all the way to the table. Amazon is field to table play. Right? So this is what's going down. So here's another robot. Look how fast it's moving. No humans, y'all. Again, simplicity. They're just using the technology that's been there before, but having it work on its own. Doing the things faster than so this is where this is how they keep their costs down. I'm no longer importing labor. So now we're not even importing labor to the field, y'all. Like, think about that. Think about the job losses for anybody that thought they were going to come here to do, and then drones. DJI didn't know they were an agriculture play, but they are. This is DJI's drone. DJI that has the drones that we use in not only just having fun and doing camera shots, but it can be used in the real estate business. So if you have a drone, you can do drone footage for people that are trying to sell properties. And that's another way for you to earn some money. You just have to get yourself a drone license, drone license, right? And I'm pretty sure people will be selling their drones as they need to get some money, and cameras when people need to get their money. So you can actually do stuff for real estate agents and property people that are doing rent. So if they're saying the World Economic Forum is talking about you will own nothing and like it, evidently they're going to still be renting. So that means they're going to need cheap labor to be able to take these pictures. Come on now. I'm just showing you business and services to get through this transition, and that extra revenue that you get from doing these business and services, you can start buying stocks as they drop. See, that's what you have to do. So it's not about just buying. You don't buy out of your pocket, and you can't buy and gross out of your pocket. So if you have a job already, that's your bills. Okay, then where do you get revenue from? From your services, products, and or residuals. So some of those services, if you have a camera, go out there and take pictures for real estate agents. Go get a drone and do drone footage. Right? So back to this. DJI, the one that does that, is got in the field farming for pesticides. Now, there could be different types of stuff. Like, again, I saw something where there was some lady that poured boiled oranges and sprayed her plants with it and poured it on her plants, and it reduced bugs. Well, why can't I boil vats of that, put it into a spray system, and have a drone spraying that over my plants at night in the best time, so it doesn't just boil off, right? So this can fly at nighttime. So now we're talking about being able to have pesticides in the evening time when bugs are most active. We have to be smarter with which farms are doing that. And those farms are the ones I'd want to invest in. Yes, invest in farmland. Yes, you can do it online. Yes. So which farmlands are going to get the highest yield, and start investing? This is now for bigger trees and plants. This is a higher, so vines and all that stuff. So your grapes and again, at the bottom, it's down there getting the weeds and the other stuff and become mulch. So even when we're dealing with vineyards, automation in the vineyards are coming. So again, where are these jobs? How is our economy so great when I'm showing you in our farmlands that they don't even need immigrants or us to do anything in the field anymore? You talk about industrialized farming, it's coming down to everybody. And I'll show you as we keep going. Here's another fast tractor. This one is a John Deere. This is one of the things I said in the Discord, that I'm looking at John Deere and I'm looking at Caterpillar, because those are the big farm companies, and they are in acquisition mode, buying up these other companies. And it's integrated to be able to work with any of the stuff that their tractors already work with. Of course, this is a prototype. They're nowhere near ready to go launch on that. Now, this, ladies, gentlemen, family, friends, and tribe, is the pièce de résistance. Hold on. This. FarmBot Genesis by FarmBot. This is a backyard bot, y'all. So think about neighborhood farm systems. You hear me? Think about neighborhood farm systems. It's seeds. It can handle weeding on its own. Just like we just saw in the fields, it's now in your backyard. They have an app, and you can choose what you want to grow and what yields and how that's taken care of. And they have grow lights. Are you serious? So again, think about that. Think about your neighborhoods now. Think about where you might want to go live, where you can now have a farm in your backyard that's maintained for you. When I tell you machines are going to be the things that make you money, I'm serious. I learned this years ago when somebody introduced me to Windows macros. And then I realized I could automate my work, and I could go with my boss at the time, Mark, and we could go down to Guitar Center and play on the MPs, and he could play his 6-string, like look at 6-string guitars. We go to Guitar Center, we go to Music Factory, wherever, to go listen to music at Tower Records. Go check out hardware at Sam Ash. Checking out software. There was this new thing called Fruity Loops Studio that ended up popping up. And I was just like, this is interesting. And it's cheap. You can download it online. Okay. So automation is rippling through everything. And when I saw that it was happening in the corporate building, that means HR people, project managers. You don't even need project managers for your business because you have Monday.com or Trello.com. Now you're talking about you don't need to import any workers to your field anymore. What do you need to import people into your country for anymore? Chemical manufacturers too. Yeah, I mean, according to Maverick, of course, all of those companies are going to be big. But the thing is that as people want more, like the thing is that people are starting to realize that the chemicals that they're using are the reason why they have all of the immune system issues that they have in the first place. And as people start eating from grow farms that are digitized over eating that other stuff, and their immune system start healing themselves, and they don't need all the other side effects, may include blah 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 blah. And then when they get off, slamming these pesticide burgers in their mouths and pestabirds in their gullet, then maybe the need for antibiotics will go down because they're not having all these antibacterials in their system messing up their enzymes. And maybe if they start drinking more eating more sea moss and drinking more green algae and things like that, they can start regulating their gut. And in regulating your gut, maybe it could have prevented my mother's dementia. Because now we're realizing that the gut, your stomach, controls most of your mental conditions. And they want to put plastic, soy in your gut to mess it up even more than what it's already messed up. Your energy, your vibration is on the consumption of what vibrations you consume. You can't consume shitty vibrations and think your vibrations are going to be okay, regardless of what stones you throw on your aura. You just corrupt the vibrations of your stones, with no harmony in what you're consuming in the first damn place. So that has to change. And then in all of this transition, here is where you invest. If you know there's a problem, hey, I keep telling you, the analog is dying. I know I seem real weirdo to a bunch of folks that think that, it's all about beats and chops and loops. I get it. It is. Until it hits a commercial, and then that commercial is a product, and the stock of that product is more than your beat. And all you got was the play for that commercial. And even then, it was still good, but come on now. So if the farm is automating and the warehouse is automated and the factory, Sir God Elon, is automating cars and robots and everything so that you don't need no humans, y'all, I'm telling you, and the offices are emptying, you can work from home. I can get somebody to work for me in India. Wait, I'm going to say that again. I can have somebody work for me from India. If I want to, I go to Fiverr and just look up India. And I can get labor done. If I want China, I go to China and get labor done. If I want Taiwan, I can go to Taiwan and get labor done. Digital labor, I can still get it done. My manufacturing is already automated. My t-shirts are printed. Printify.com. But people don't got the disposable income for that shit. while they're still trading monkey NFTs for a couple $100 million. Good luck. Those will probably turn into cartoons, and those things will probably have some survival scrolls on them. But nobody that comes up with anything that isn't like a serious game or a serious whatever, that all the other monkey noise, watch what happens next month. Watch. Next month's going to be painful for crypto people because it goes down another notch and goes down another notch. Like I told you, like June, wait till June. Like June is going to be ugly. Not like November. November is going to be crushing for folks that still believe that this thing's going to keep spiking up in the midst of an economic shift to digital. Nobody wants to deal with the economic shift to digital. And all I keep finding everywhere I look is not analog. I find everything being digitized. Taxi drivers are next. That's why I stopped driving Uber and Lyft years ago. I was like, no, this is a dummy mission. I can't build a business out of this. And that's why I stopped doing Amazon, selling stuff on Amazon. I was doing that for a while. And then Amazon kept competing with me. I was like, this is a dummy mission. I'm out. Like, I'm not going to find some good product, put the product out, hype it up, and then you just buy it cheaper and kill me out of the market. This is Walmart in digital form. And I got it. I was like, okay, you got this, Amazon. You got that. I can't do nothing with you. All right. And he's already in farmland now. Like the Microsoft and Amazon are on farmland. You got to ask yourself, is Google on farmland too? Probably so. Especially if they're using the network, Google's networks. But of course, he's probably using his own satellites on Amazon. And of course, Bill has the piggybacking of all the networks he's invested in, as well as the blockchain ones he's already linked himself with. Again, another tractor. Look at this tractor they're racing, and he's getting his ass handed to him. And you can see there's titles. So I want to show you some things that I do. Look. I stop and I'll look at logos. Think about it like NASCAR. Is that the engine? Is that the title? Is that right? Cassie is the company because it's on the front of the vehicle. Oh, it's right here. It's Cassie. Unless that's the model. AFS Farming Systems. AFS. It's AFS Farming Systems. Object detection. Spraying, see? So even handling your sprays. And so look, there's what's happening in the farmland with how we're going to get our fruits and our vegetables, everything else. The game has changed. Nothing like your farm is automated. Like, come on. Don't get me wrong. Cotton gin, we were smashing it. Sorry. We were smashing it. Cotton gin, we're crushing it. But this, and I look at this and I say, okay, well, what is analog now? If your food and then the delivery systems to deliver your food and the warehouse and then the storefront is just come in, swipe and go. Like BJ's, if you'll have BJ's, now BJ's is you basically have your app, you check through, you scan your stuff with your app and you walk out the damn door. Well, of course you show them that you pay for everything, and that is going to be the model, y'all. That means they will not need even more cashiers. So again, that's gone. Then I showed y'all the pharmacy is digitized. So how you get your medication. So there's your pharmacist, gone. All of these specialized positions that needed hundreds of thousands of dollars jobs are gone. And since those now executive jobs are disappearing, even in the executive field, I don't need HR, I don't need this, I don't need this, I have automation, right? So if I automated everything down, that used to be 100-person, like to handle my entire HR, might have been 100 people to handle like a couple thousand people, right? Maybe tens of thousands of people. Now my system of automation or a system that is an HR project management system or HR system could basically need 2 people, 3 people to manage the HR of tens of thousands of people. Okay, so now all those jobs are gone. If you look at what's going on with Photoshop and what's going on with the web and what's going on with 3D and going on with Unreal Engine, okay, you're talking about film industries and rendering companies. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of servers, machines, and technical IT professionals and all that gone. Second. Just waiting for it to resync. Come on, don't mess with me, man. Come on, man. Bring me back, man. There we go. And we're back. I was lagging for a second. All right. So we've just got to understand that every item that I've seen, if you look at residential properties, the way corporations have to now gut themselves, the fact that now the interest rates are going up, and with interest rates going up, that means that if they're on loans and their businesses are on life support with those loans and the interest rates go up, they're going to begin to default on those loans. The only thing that they can do to save that money is to reduce their employee count to catch that money. Y'all, we're going to watch jobs start to disappear. That's the only logical choice. And with that, the roles of unemployment will pop up again for a quick second, and then after 11 weeks or whatever it is for their city or state, boom, they'll disappear off the rolls, but they still won't have a job to go back to. And people are putting out jobs and saying they can't find anybody to fill it, but they're also putting unattainable expectations, because now it's like, okay, mandatory, you need a college degree for this, a college degree for that. But then people that have the college degree is like, well, I don't have the actual technical skill and the history to be able to really facilitate this job in a remote fashion without having somebody watch over my shoulder. Right? So you need somebody that actually knows what they're doing, and that's why you're going to see a lot of these companies just go to freelancers. This is why I'll tell y'all, hey, make sure you begin to focus on service work, because companies are cheap and they're going to want the cheapest price. And I'm going to be there to catch it and roll through that and take those lower fees. Like if something is a $5,000 job, I'll do it for $1,500. Especially if I can automate the process. So what I've been doing is getting myself situated to be able to scale up, to lower my costs, to compete in a market where everybody's going to be competing, and where my win over a lot of other people will be the fact that I can broadcast. Take robots, use them to promote on social media sites that have APIs and or N8NIO is already connected to, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit. Everything on the planet has APIs now, damn near. Every major company does. And all of these systems can be hooked into. So then it's just, what services can you utilize for yourself based off the data you're ingesting for yourself to be able to build businesses that help other companies. That's it. So again, if you're somebody that is making beats and you need to get royalties, well, then you're going to create some type of channel and then make some types of videos that have nothing to do with your beats. You need another channel, something that has a topic that has a bunch of people that like it, like gaming. Talk about, like, have a gaming channel, and that gaming channel could be highlights, or if you can work with another channel and then partner with them so that you can end up helping do editing, like learn how to edit and then be an editor and get paid to be an editor. You already edit music. You realize that editing video is damn near the same thing. Cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. Chop, chop, chop. Here's my little razor, slice, cut this out, slice, cut this out, slice here. It's just slices. And I just have layers of video, and I can slice in and out of stuff or punch in and out shots and have those time sequences come in and out when beats drop or whatever. So it's like you just time your, you have rhythm, you time it to the beat, and you're like, all right, I want to punch this clip right here in at this point, and I'm going to punch this clip over here like this at this point, and I'm going to punch it over here, punch it like pop, 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 done. Make it about 30 seconds, and boom, you have a 30-second spot. If you have some extra residuals, you put an ad you put an ad to it through Google, get a little bit of visibility to get it started. And now your client is happy. Boom. Not only did they get a video, but when it got posted to their page, you also helped it get a little bit of visibility. And all you do is you price that into your services. That's it. Hey, I'm going to give them a month, or let's say I'm going to spend $50 a month in advertising. I'm going to do that for 3 months. So let me add $150 to the service budget. And I just say that there's a broadcast or a broadcast service fee, or just a service, a market fee, right? Or a marketing service fee. And that marketing service fee is the fee that I'm going to pay in ads plus whatever percentage from me to do the labor of setting up everything in there to promote it. And if I can automate that, right? You see the game? Because even Google ads are marketable. So now I don't have to log into it once I have a system to be able to talk to it. Now I can just say, hey, system, when they pay and this is going ready to launch and this happens over here, launch this ad, create this ad over here like this, and then send it to me. So let me do an approval. All right, I see this. This looks good. I approve it. And boom, it gets posted to a social media network. Or it gets sent to them. They upload it to their service. We get the URL for what that thing is, and then we help promote that video. You got to do more than just make beats. Give me 1 second. Make sure I don't have to run. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. So let's go back into the Discord real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Senor Discord. There we go. All right. And then, hey, let's see. Yep. Autonomous. Stock plays. Urea, fertilizer, manure. Okay. And then the cloud automation. I already kind of talked about the automation and death of the executive office. So I kind of already jumped into that. Let's do with the research queue. All right, so one of the things I'm getting ready to do now that the system is built, and let me show you the system. So tEngine is launched, and now I basically have N8N IO on a cloud server. And now this thing can now connect to all of those things that I showed you, right? So now, let me minimize this. Do I have that open still, or did I close that out? I did close that out. Let's see. I think I backed out of it. Might have been here. it's not. All right, so let's just use this one. Integrations. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, now. Give me a second. All right. So with now, like I told you, having access to be able to use, like, have all of these integrations at my disposal, I now can start doing a lot of different things, especially as this becomes my visual agent of choice. Right. So again, this is going to be, and then like I told y'all, Notion is right here. So you can control Monday.com. So if you had a project management business system and you wanted to use that, you had a business and you wanted to use Monday, or you had a company that you're doing stuff for and you want to automate some of the stuff for, like, so again, if you look at N8N, if you look at what I'm doing here, it's not just so that, yeah, I can automate a robot and automate what's going on with my site, but I'm automating my company. There's nothing saying that you can't automate other companies' workload. So again, look at all the business stuff that's here. I can talk to, and one of the things I'm going to be doing is one of the clients, the wealth manager I work for, his lead marketing director, before he left, I still am in contact with him, and he still markets and sells property and does all that stuff for major corporations, and they have automation needs. So now all of a sudden I can automate all of their cloud environments, and then if necessary, automate their back end. Right. So again, this, what I'm showing you is, here's Notion. So there's a Notion beta, and append after, get child books. That's the blocks. You've got get, search, so your database, so anything that's there. You've got database pages, so you can create them, get them. So I'm going to be learning a page, what goes on a page, archive, create, search, user, the things you can get in users or from your users or whatever. So like for me, I'm going to be looking at Notion and utilizing that as a way to have Toxic Hustle be able to have a history of why we made trades, why we did certain things we did, what did we see, what, like all of the things that, or even things that we're finding. Like again, this is what I'm using is for business, but in the future, this is going 3 a.m. to be able to set keywords to specific topics and be able to pull those. So like all of that stuff, this, like if you see what you can potentially even do with like 3 a.m. content, and how you can intermingle 3 a.m. content with, even trying to deal with legal stuff. So like even creating a legal ledger for yourself to like track down certain legalities and reference them and cross-reference them, and to certain, and even keeping traceability of maritime situations or contract laws that you need to keep track of. Like this thing is a little powerful database on its own. And again, I tell y'all, it's all about the databases. It's all about the intelligence of these databases. It's all about the what they can bring to you. And Notion is yet again just another smart database that does a lot of computational things, and you can create a lot of things from it. I'm just starting to get a grip of it, but I just wanted to bring that y'all know I try to show y'all things as I'm learning them. So it's not like you're hearing from it and you need some damn course to jump on board and kind of figure it out for yourself. You figure it out in real time with me. So, and again, you can connect things like PayPal or get information from PayPal. So like you can create like really intensive business. Like, hey, if something happens on my website, send them an email, and then after X amount of time, do something else. Well, there's software out there that you pay $10,000 to do something for that. And that's $10,000 a month, y'all. There is literally software out there at 10 grand a month to do what this software is doing, that you can just download this for free. Are you shitting me? That's why I said this is the WordPress of automation. And I look for things like that. So, what we're able to do with this, and in conjunction with every, like, look, Shopify. Are you serious? That means you can automate Shopify, y'all. Or if something happens on Shopify. So, like, look, you can create orders or get orders. So, if there's orders, get them. And then you can do something with that. Hey, send them this, send them that, send them access to a website through a mail link, give them access to a file. So now you're starting to remove yourself from needing the what is that? The BeatStars of the world and any of these other places that distribute your downloadable music content. Spotify, getting your Spotify data and utilizing your Spotify data. Like I said, Trello, that's a free project management system. Twitter, Webflow, right? WooCommerce, WordPress, YouTube, Zoom, Facebook, Graph API, Discord, if you have your own channels. Yeah, so if you own a channel, be able to post to your Discord. CoinGecko. So getting data from CoinGecko. So you're getting market data. See what I'm saying? Like I told you about Bubble, storing data on Box, being able to use any Amazon, building an image over here. Let's see, another database. And again, Active Campaign if I wanted an email manager and I didn't want to build it myself. So there's just so much, y'all. So this business of what I'm doing now with tEngine is basically now for my music business. I can now promote anywhere, use my data anywhere, utilize it anywhere, keep a track of where it's being utilized, keep a monitor of how those plays are going, be able to go back and cross market links on other platforms at other times to get extra plays back on those other platforms that make me more money, knowing which platforms those are as I'm making those decisions, like having data for the usability of your assets. We don't have a system that handles that, so you may need to build it yourself, as I'm doing in general, or you wait around for me to launch a SaaS service. I can tell you right now, when the service launches, it's gonna be $49.95. Because the system should be able to generate somewhere in the line of $50 anyway, which is what it's already beginning to do for me. And I haven't even started yet. So let's just do this last bit right here. And that is going to be the stock plays that I talk about here for the farming sector. And the reason why I bring that up is, again, these companies, these corporations, they're going to begin to buy into these commodity assets to hold them. They're just going to have to. They're not going to really have much of a choice, because they're either going to be dictated by paper, or they're going to need to hold these assets to be able to utilize them for their actual companies. So like if you look at Bill Gates, and Bill Gates has the Bill and Melinda Foundation, right? So if you look at that foundation would of course have to buy these minerals to now farm with. So they're going to have to hold these things as a part of their internal purchase orders. So now they've got to trade. Now, as I was telling my girl before, I was like, right now, I believe that we're going to be going through a increase of everything. And these three things right here, urea, fertilizer, and manure, are the core of croppage. So I will be looking at anything that's going to be in this sector over the next coming months and over the next coming year. Because I can tell you right now, come fall and yields are low, prices are going up. And you know prices go up on food right around the holiday season, November, Thanksgiving, come on. So just expect the craziness. Just expect it. Just expect that you're going to have to start looking at other things. And then if we look at the news, right? If you look up, go here, high costs forcing producers to weigh fertilizer options. Ammonia, there's another one, urea producer. So ammonia, urea. So for a lack of a better way to say it, piss and shit. Yes, there's money in piss and shit. And of course, you're looking at nitrogen. So again, what does crops need to create a good yield? Who are the manufacturers that are getting said stuff for those yields? Where are those manufacturers? What stocks do they have a stock? Are they associated with another stock? Or are they part of a chain of a line of and just a distributor to a actual business that is on the market, and that person or company or business is affected negatively? So that means if there's a shortage and they're paying more, so if you have a company that now has to pay more for urea, and that means it's cutting into their earnings, is that a company you now need to short? It doesn't always have to be about it going up. It could be that the fact that urea is going up and the commodity's going up, I could buy the commodity, and then at the same time, a company that now has to buy urea and the costs are going up, well, I can short that company because their profits within a couple quarters should start soaring to the downside. So this game of what's going on across the pond is a food game. It's a food game. Before it's a gold game, because you're going to need gold to buy what? Food. Good looks, RTP. Right? So if you look at that, so urea, then of course you have manure. Mm-hmm. Manure is a hot commodity. Piss and shit. Livestock manure demand increases. Livestock crap demand is increased. So I need to find out who's with this, because they need this to put it on the field. Like, this ain't a game. We're not dealing with the fact that the core of what you need to eat is in short supply, and the entire world needs the same thing. So if they're in Brazil and they've been growing our food, guess what you're competing with if you're trying to buy it here for your food? And then it's scarce from the bread basket itself, i.e. Russia/Ukraine, the wheat basket or whatever, the bread basket they call it. And then you got a dairy farm that leaked manure for days. So basically, wasted revenue. Eye from the sky, swine manure lagoons. High fertilizer prices may make manure more valuable. So now all of a sudden, watch what happens. What was waste now becomes profit. Just like oil that used to be in all these canisters from all of these fast food restaurants, when you filter it and you could reuse it, you could drive down the road in it with a modification of your vehicle. Cars driving pure vegetable oil is not viable fuel. News. Their cars run on used vegetable oil. Boop. How to run your car on vegetable oil. Boop. Tesco customer fills petrol tank with cooking oil as petrol prices soar. Boop. Been that way for years. And then all of a sudden they went to this EV crap. But right around 2000, early 2000, there was a big conversion happening to all of the gas tanks to start, like in California, people were starting to convert their gas tanks to be able to use cooking oil. And they would drive around the town and ask fast food restaurants, can I get rid of your oil for free? And they would get it, they would do treatment to it, and then they put it in their car, and their car would smell like fried chicken. So let's not play cute and glamorous. The way that they've been running this game is because the people that run the guy that was in the kerosene industry, saw this byproduct called gasoline. He was throwing it away and then decided he was going to use it as a source of energy. That person was Standard Oil. And the person that ran Standard Oil was John D. Rockefeller. There you go. I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas. And now you want to take my block, fellas? So, this game that they're playing, y'all, is not a new one. Here is the jugs. They used to be on a gold standard, a piece of metal. That was 1-to-1, supposedly. Then they started printing out a whole bunch of money and they wrote a whole bunch of paper that their ass couldn't cash. Then everybody around the world said, yo, we want our gold back. Give me them jugs. And then Nixon said, nah, homie, I ain't giving you them jugs. We defaulted. My nigga, that's a default. Period. And then these defaulting ass fools have been with themselves, playing with themselves. No pause on that because this is real facts. They've been playing amongst themselves, playing this whack-a-mole, smack ass, grab ass shit. We're gonna go oil and drop the dollar. Okay, well now they got all funny style, and then they ran out of oil. They thought they had all the oil in the world in Texas and all that other stuff, and it dried out. After they had already made all of this scientific research and we have all this oil. But then that's why they went ahead and sent Halliburton and everybody across the seas. The vice president underneath George Bush Jr., head of Halliburton. Oil fields. What does a plane fly? What is the military complex? They fly planes. What do those planes need? They need jet fuel. Jet fuel is derived from what? And they are what? The military complex. So their military complex stuff, the only stuff that's just their nuclear ships, for the most part, that's it. Everything else is gas powered, y'all. Diesel, jet fuel, all that shit. Their trucks are diesel, their planes are jet fuel. All because of this weirdo here took a crappy commodity, gasoline, because it was a byproduct of what was the big thing of the day, kerosene. It had no use. He was dumping it in fields. Kind of like the pig shit. So I keep telling y'all, when you look at a farm, you think it's just about food. And I, for the most part today, have presented it as food. But then I want you to understand that it's also an energy business, because manure turns to methane. Manure can be converted to methane. Methane can be converted to a gas. The gas can turn a turbine. The turbine can create energy. So a farm is a homonucleic energy source, because you can even take bio, the matter. So you've got leaves, twigs, and all that biomatter, and in the future be able to convert biomatter into biofuel. That biofuel can turn generators, and generators can make power. So again, you've got power. And I haven't sold a burger. I'm just utilizing the farmland to create energy. Now, could I not take that energy and store it? What would I need to store? Well, now you probably need nickel, zinc, copper, all the things we just talked about, because EV batteries, electric vehicle batteries, are now the batteries that are used for grid batteries. So now let's look at that. That's another thing you got to look at. Grid battery companies. Top 50 energy storage companies. Energy storage. Grid scale battery storage. See? Tesla's part of this too. Grid battery materials. Look at that. What kind of batteries are used for grid storage? Lithium ion batteries. Lithium. You know, the song that Evanescence started singing, and the song that was sung by a bunch of rock groups, all before lithium blew up off the map, because systematic programming was, they wanted you to know, or at least them to know, what was going to be the new fuel source. This is the new oil for them, lithium. And they're pulling the jugs. Everybody's worrying about gold, platinum, silver, thinking that we're going to be gold bugs again. I mean, that sounds cute, but I don't think we're going back to coins. That's not what scripture says, so I'm not really beat on the bullish. I don't think we are going to go back. Never, 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 never change. I don't think we're going back there. I don't think we go back to coins and walking around with coins in our pocket that get robbed. I don't think that's where we go back to. Especially not in the transition of you will own nothing and love it situation, the World Economic Forum type beats. So what should you be looking at? Yes, there are lithium mines in Canada, and there's lithium mines here in America as well. We haven't done enough exploratory mechanisms for our lithium mines. Never, 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 never change. U.S. seeks new lithium sources as demand for clean energy grows. The Green New Deal. From 2019. You know, the year before Hachu, Pikachu, or Marion. Huh? Huh? February 21st, 2019, 2020, what happened? Okay. Green New Deal. How do you get this Green New Deal rolling? You have to destroy the other deal. This new deal is their new Bretton Woods deal. I think that's what it's called, Brentworth. Brentworth. Is it? Or Brentwood. Was it the, hold on. Brettonwood? Is it Brettonwood? I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, there was a deal that they did. So this is their new accord for their Green New Deal. And their Green New Deal is you're going to need green energy. So now you're Brettonwood. Thank you. BRETT. BRETTONWONCCORD. I think it's the Bretton Woods Accord. Go back to all. Bretton Woods Agreement. The system claimed Bretton Woods Agreement created a collective international currency exchange regime that lasted from the 1940s to the early 1970s. So from the 1940s, right after the Great Depression, years after the Great Depression, then they created a new deal. Pegged the US dollar to gold. Then we created a new deal. It went from being pegged to gold to being the US dollar standard oil because we thought we held oil because we were getting rid. Hey, oil's better than gold. It does more than gold. It's used more than gold. Okay, well, y'all, we don't see the need for lithium. Brettonwood, we are supposed to be on Brettonwood 3. Yeah. Brettonwood 3. Credit Suisse. We are here we go. Good call. And this is from creditsuisse.com. Bretton Woods 3. Bretton Woods institutions, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were created to bring about an orderly development of the world economy in the post-World War II era. What are the three Bretton Woods institutions? What was Bretton Woods 2? Hypothesis of sustainable global imbalances featuring quasi-permanent U.S. current account deficit overlooked. Indebtedness was not based on debts, but rather toxic ones. Let me see what Credit Suisse is talking about. Credit Suisse. New World. Oh, here, this is a PDF from March 7th, 2022. From Credit Suisse, contributor Zoltan Posner. We are witnessing the birth of Bretton Woods 3, a new world, monetary order centered around commodity-based currencies in the East that will likely weaken the Eurodollar system and also contribute to inflationary forces in the West. Wait. Linda. Linda, what you say, Linda? Linda just told me, Linda, that they're going to buy things out of the ground overseas, Linda. And that's going to cause everything to raise in price, Linda, over here. Hmm. But Linda, that just happened. Wait. No. You're saying it's going to be worse because this is from March 2022. So you're saying it's going to be worse next year. Okay, Linda. A rising crisis is unfolding. This is again Credit Suisse, y'all. From y'all down, hold on. Let's C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit Suisse. S-U. Right? Credit Suisse. A global investment bank and financial services firm founded and based in Switzerland. Swiss bank. Y'all, the Swiss bank. I just wanted to put this in perspective. A major Swiss bank is telling you, hey, shit's about to get real. A crisis. There's a war going on outside. No one's safe, dude. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walking with your head down straight to look. You should, because ain't no such thing as halfway crook. Commodities are collateral. Wait. You're not saying that the paper is collateral. No. My paper is paper. No. You're saying that my physical assets, the physical commodities, are collateral. So wait, we're going back into a commodity-based market, not a balloon market. So the Swiss Miss Pudding bars are telling you right now, we're going back to physical shit. We ain't going back to y'all walk around with gold in your pocket. No. You're getting a CBDC. You and me, your mother, your cousin too. Get a CBDC coin, cause you ain't owning shit out in these streets, man. Get out in these streets. All right. Let's see. And collateral is money. Collateral is money. Okay. And this crisis is about the rising allure of outside money over inside money. Bitcoin over $1, Ethereum over $1. Everything outside of your dollar weakens your dollar because I can use it to transact outside of you. Hence, taking your dollar standard and shoving it up your right? So outside money is a problem. So the Credit Suisse is saying that, hey, your inside, your Federal Reserve money is getting messed up by this outside stuff because you've been playing this outside stuff so long, everybody wants more outside stuff, i.e. everybody, hey, we want to manipulate this commodities market. Let's create the Chicago exchange and create options, and you'll stick your money there trying to gamble on black. Let's see. And its foundations crumbled a week ago when the G7 seized Russia's FX reserves, their foreign exchange reserves. So what people don't realize is that the world seized Russia's financial exchange money, the digital money. But Russia bought gold and buying gold, like China's been buying gold and then buying gold mines. China's been deep in that. Diamond mines, gold mines, silver mines. They're getting those commodities. Taiwan is a tech play because Taiwan manufactures chips. And we outsourced our chip manufacturers way over there. Created it here, shipped plans over there. Well, now with all the chips we can, risk chips and the things we can 3D print ourselves, that shit's coming back over here. Which companies are going to win now? There's a transition coming. We're going into low form factor computers. The Raspberry Pis type beats are going to be 10 gigabytes strong. They're going to be desktop grade. Do you know what that's going to do to automation when your Raspberry Pi is just as powerful as a laptop? Come on now, stop. Stop playing. Linear rates, the stuff to trade is about, blah, 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 recognize regime shifts. But you have to think non-linear and recognize and survive regime shifts. So the Credit Suisse are telling you there's a regime shift coming. The Swiss bank are telling you that there's a regime shift coming. We are seeking a regime shift. We are seeing a regime shift unfold in funding markets currently, which as always will pass, and a sea change in inflation dynamics and foreign exchange reserve management practices. So there's a change in how inflation is being handled around us and the assets that people hold. Inflation can affect you keeping assets or keeping commodities on your foreign exchange because you may need to sell them off, your commodities, to pay for debt. They're warning that there is a debt crunch coming. We have two convictions today. First, the spreads are going to warm up, both funding, premiums, commodity prices when the market taking out Fed hikes. The second, good time to get long. So their freight rates, blah, 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 shipping rates, blah, 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 blah. So needless to say, Credit Suisse is warning, like every bank, JP Morgan and everybody, like JP Morgan's out on these streets talking about we're about to lose $1 billion. Jamie Dimon. Because they tell that shit. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon warns of a possible 1 billion Russia loss. So they are saying they are going to lose about $1 billion on Russia. Y'all, didn't they just lose like $1 billion or $10 billion last year? So they're just going to lose another $1 billion. I mean, I know they got record profits, but I want you to understand something. While JP Morgan saying with confidence, hey, we're going to lose $1 billion, how many banks are big enough to be able to absorb a heavy loss? They have some of the best and brightest, and they're losing $1 billion on this. How about those smaller companies that don't have the best and brightest, maybe have the second best or third best, or maybe in the 10th and 11th, maybe if they have the 120th and 150th best and brightest. Maybe they have the 2014th best and brightest. Maybe they have the 10,726th and best and brightest. These are the money managers managing these wealth funds that are bellying the hell on up. That's why I said, watch. They're going to be missing earnings, and earnings season comes around the corner when she comes. And you're going to start noticing, as per Mav of Wall Street was saying, boom, U.S. bank earnings to decline in the first quarter 1 hour ago. They're already announcing that they're going to miss earnings. Y'all, we haven't even started cycle yet, but Mav said, watch what happens. They're going to start talking about the fact that they're going to miss earnings so they can start dropping the stocks slowly. That's hopefully they don't get just don't want to announce earning and see their shit drop by 28% in a day. They'd rather try to stagger it the hell on out. Netflix and other tech stocks report earnings. I can tell you right now, earnings are going to start falling. Where people are not peak stay at home anymore. People are being told to get back. Well, they say, hold on. Somebody put it real. Google's former HR chief says your boss, this is the HR chief, says your boss wants to boil you slowly like a frog to get you back in the office, and it will be terrible for morale and productivity. 4 days ago. They want to make it harder and harder because these boomers want people to come back into an office that makes no sense to go to since everybody has internet. And all of their clients are on the internet, and all their clients got emails. So earnings, April 6th. WD-40 got higher expected earnings. Pop, food prices. 6 hours ago, Netflix earnings when it comes out. Let's see. Earnings miss. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to do this, use the tools, and I'm only going to do this for the last week. Constellation Brands earnings miss. Quarter miss 6 days ago. Lucid is ready to get back on the track after earnings miss. Okay. Missed estimates. Missed earnings. Dave and Buster's drop. Modern Dental Group misses earnings. Dental, Costco earnings revenue missed in second quarter. Yeah, so let's just see what happens when the earnings start. Like, I think it's the 11th earnings season starts. Looking toward the heart of earnings season. Next week's first quarter earnings season. So 3 hours ago. So it starts next week. Yeah, so next week is earnings season. That's why I'm just waiting, y'all. This will begin. Next week will begin. So I am going to make sure I covered everything. Give me a moment. I believe I did. I believe I did. We took a look at the charts. I told you we're in crypto winter. I'm not doing any investment right now. Don't make any damn sense to be investing as the market begins to cycle down. Major first focus is going to be the rise of food prices and the loss of jobs in the agri biz. So again, as we're looking at automation and automation begins to eat up all the segment of the market, I'm just showing you that in the fields, they're automating out of existence. So now we don't have more people coming into this country to work in fields and none of that ish. We don't need that no more. That's gone bye-bye. So then, and that's also happening in the office spaces. That's also happening in corporate buildings. So we're beginning to have an exodus of analog on a serious ramp up level. Billionaires have been buying up farmland for years. Um, People need to start looking at their own lands. I showed you in the video that you're going to be able to look at your own local agricultural grows and your own grow farms and backyards using some type of automation systems. These things are coming and they're going to get cheaper. So we're looking at being able to have this happen. It's going to be a hard year, but at the end of this year, you could be looking at trying to begin cycling into these other businesses and these other things. So there's definitely opportunity there. As well as what we talked about as far as urea, piss and shit is money makers. So who has the access to that and looking into that? So we'll be looking into that. We launched the engine. So the Thor engine or N8N is there. We're now going to be able to grab data, do a lot of automations and begin marketing as of next week. And automation and the death of the executive, i.e., top heavy corporate pay goes bye bye. Having all of these people all these managers when software can manage itself, and it's really going to be customers talking for the most part to software, and then after they get enough information, the software then just routes them to whoever is the person that needs to be talked to. Right? So we've got to see that this entire business landscape is muerto, done, the way that it originally existed. That includes farm, that includes business, and that includes music. Now, what you're looking for is what companies are going to need marketing. Then, when you can be able to market with these companies, you can offer your music. What do? You put it on CD Baby and now earn royalties on any one of these social networks. And now they can utilize your music and you can do service work by designing commercials and videos, by utilizing any of these cloud-based systems that have automation and video editing, and or using After Effects and downloading a template for 19, 20, 15 bucks. And utilizing that and creating your own videos for your clients and charging them a service fee. Like, again, we're going into a world where disposable income for consumers is going to be at an all-time low. So what you do is you pivot, and you pivot to businesses who will always need money, especially if they have clients, and they'll also always need marketing. They will always need marketing. If they're making money, they will need marketing. It's the pivot to what sectors are dead now over to the live ones. Where is our companies going to? Who's going to be marketing? Who's doing storage? Who's doing grid? Who's doing this? And you're going to be looking for those companies. And then those companies are going to have sub companies that are contracted to them. And then you do work for them, or you get your work to them. Right? Or you start doing marketing, or you create some type of news outlet that just talks about something that you're happy to do, or you work in, like, if you want to do crypto and you're still into, and you think that the metaverse is going to be big and you want to do metaverse stuff, then just get your stuff into the game. Do screen captures, play the game yourself, stream it. Play your music in the background so it gets picked up by the algorithm, or record your play session privately and then create clips of it, or create some type of tutorial and create clips of it and play your music in the background. Again, instrumentals, bag off. Because there's no vocals, you have no worry about cursing. And if you own all the samples, and this is why I'm working on the system so hard, is because I need to own my samples. Again, if somebody buys a beat and somebody buys a sample chop and they didn't change the sample chop, and 1,000 people used the sample chop, but one of those people that did it, their person actually got a bigger deal and it went forward. Now all of y'all are using the same sample chop. When I Shazam that crap, guess who wins? Not you. So I need to create my own samples to control that narrative, because Shazam equals plays. Artificial intelligence listening to my music, I don't want everybody having my ish unless it's already registered to me. See, there's your copyright. Your copyright isn't writing some boomer and sending some disc or CD to their corporate office when they should be uploading stuff. Wake up, you old, right? So since these boomers don't get that form of that business, that analog form of copyright is dead, y'all, what are copyrights? Just a way to get paid. How do you get paid from your copyrights now? You got to go to an agency. So you got to go to ASCAP BMI. Okay, so when do you get paid? It'll be 6 months to whatever after whatever's released, and maybe you get some radio plays at the time was back 2 cents to 3 cents. Okay, well now all you do is upload it to CD Baby, turn on a browser and play your shit, and you've made royalties. Stop playing with me. So the game is that freaking simple now. I don't have to go to Manhattan and say, please listen to my demo. I can go out here and say, here's my album, or here's an album, or here you can listen to, here's a commercial about an anime that's getting ready to launch, and my music is behind it, announcing it as a news article. And I still get the utilization royalty stream. Come on, man. And then when they Shazam it, boom, what shows up? My Spotify. So that's why I say your signature, your digital signatures are important. So when everybody else is still using all these damn websites to download all these samples and they wondering why they ain't making no money, bang, there you go. That's why they ain't making no money, because they don't own the sound rights. They don't own the vibration. They just borrow from somebody else. And again, it's a race to the bottom. I have taken some samples that I bought from other people. I have I have gone online and I have Shazammed before I even went live with the song, and it found out it was another artist. People don't understand that's going to be big to make sure that your music is tracking you. So everything on the sound is important. I don't want a bunch of people's shit. I already finished with that. That's why the next few albums are going to be mad different. I'm going to be making my own samples, or I'm going to be using the stuff that MG drops, and I can change and pitch them weird or chop them up or move them around, so that even if all of us use the same thing, I ain't going to have the same thing as y'all have. My instrumentation might be different. I might just use the MIDI stuff he has and then change the instrumentation, change the pitch and octave, actually piece different things together and push them together and basically almost like chop midis together to make new midis. Like, nah, man. That way you're crafting your sound. You have to have even that down to the samples, down to your control rights. Because if that sample is used and somebody uses it online and then you want to use it later, done deal, they win. Or if they have a license and somebody buys it, they sell it, they buy it, they sell it, and then all of a sudden it gets promoted and you want to use it, bang, you ain't got that right. So it's create your CD or your album or compilation or whatever you want to call it, upload it to CD Baby, get it in there, and then once you got it in there, you can market it and earn all the royalties on that. Especially if you have all the rights to all the samples and everything else in there. Then you can just give the freaking tracks away for free. Now all you, I want my track for free. I want to give me a free track. Now I can give you free tracks. I don't care if you use it. I'm getting streams, ticking time bombs. I could sit there and take that album. Once I have enough, like, yo, here's a hustle. Check this out. I'm going to pirate my own music. Next year, I'm going to take some of the tracks from this year that are already semi-free when I start launching them, and then I'm going to push them into the Wares situation, upload them to torrent situation, and have them out there for people to grab this stuff for cheap, for nothing, right? And then when they use it and they rap on it, or they try to resell it, or they use it in something, that is ticking time bomb. Oh, I'm going to take this beat and I'm going to use it for this. I'm going to take this beat and put it in this. I'm going to take this beat and put it in that. All right, well, now I get utilization for all of that. That's why I said you. You're not a producer. You are a media company. Get used to it. Because what I've just shown you, from making a beat, I can chop things in After Effects / Premiere, no different than if I'm in Pro Tools / Studio One, slice and cut, right? Layers, slice and cut. And then once I do all that, I render out an MP4, I give it to my client. My client gives me X amount of money for generating a commercial for them. Service. And they now have my music in something that they paid a license for. So now I don't need rappers to license my music to. I can license to anybody buying my other asset, and my music just comes a part of the package. But guess what? It's a ticking time bomb for me to get royalties as well. I still get the royalties. I still get the utility. Win-win, y'all. Stop thinking that a rapper's gonna save you. I'm an MC right now and I make my own beats. Been for years. A lot of rappers are gonna start doing that. Where you can also make money, start mixing and mastering people's shit. Start being mixing engineers. Start being mastering engineers. Do it for the cheap. Especially if you have software that can scale it up for you. Anything that gives you a leverage point. Start leveraging it. You need services. Products might not do it for you right now when people don't have disposable income unless you're selling business to business. But services, you can catch off on services. If you have graphic skills, you can design stuff for people. You can design t-shirts for folks. Especially if they're going to get it 3D printed. Here's a business. I designed stuff for people who went and did conventions. So when they go to a convention, they would need this big banner to be there. What I did was I would go into Photoshop and I would download a template for the size of their banner, right, from the company that they were going to get it printed by. And then I would put that template in my Photoshop, and then I would design their banner to fit that template. And I would get money for this big ass banner that is going to go at this conference. I easily could generate anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 designing a graphic banner for a convention type experience. There are plenty of companies. Look, Bitcoin just did it in a convention. Bitcoin's doing one in Miami right now, right? Bitcoin convention. Conference. Right? There's a Bitcoin conference right now where Strike just got the Shopify deal. So, like I told you, there's a conference right here. This conference going on right the hell now. These conferences are going to have like displays. Those displays, people have to manufacture those. If you're a graphic designer, you can make money doing that for folks, for businesses who do conferences. So even if you're looking at the Manure or whatever industry like I would be doing, well, then I can try to help these companies that are smaller be able to get some visibility against their competitors. It's all about being able to pitch. As far as pitch your services to whatever business you're trying to integrate with. I'm not going to be doing crypto right now because we're in a crypto winter. Next year, I'll be looking deeper into forging relationships, like maybe January, February of next year, forging relationships in with crypto businesses. Maybe fall of this year, I might begin looking at forging relationships, since we'll be like right at November at the base of the crypto winter, at the bottom of crypto winter. Well, not the bottom, the beginning to the end of crypto winter. Because we got to wait for the 2024 halving cycle to really start up for Bitcoin. So you've got conferences. You can design graphics. You can put music to those graphics. You can create something about gaming. You can do something in the metaverse space and be a metaverse watcher and have your music do that. Or you can become some type of if you're into anime and you like anime clips and you want to put your music to anime clips, like just start being different. Utility. I'm just trying to tell you, take your music, put it to something, earn your royalties since you uploaded it to CD Baby or whomever, as long as they give you royalties. As I said, CD Baby gives me every damn royalty for free. Whatever new thing comes up, they give it to free. And then, of course, you can try to use TuneCore as long as it's the $20-something option that gives you basically the same thing as that. I just choose CD Baby because they've been like this from the jump. That's been the business model from the jump. Basically, all you can eat, pay one time. I like the simplicity. Let's not make things complicated. And you mean to me I can distribute my stuff for just one fee? Yes. And then once you're able to do that, it is all about utility because your catalog is monetizable by just getting a stream. Your stuff's already uploaded to YouTube. All you have to do is share the link. And then if somebody clicks that link and plays it, boom, you just got a stream. I'll show y'all again. Right here, I go to YouTube. I'm on CD Baby, so I can just show you. Now I can take this link right here, copy that link address. I can post that into something like Discord. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. This, right? And then I can now go to, Discord. Then go to playlist or any social media, whatever, right? Go in here. Right? Then do this. Right? And then do that. All right, let's change this to song. Bow. Right? So now every stream that plays from this, I'm going to get royalties from. That is distro. That is the future of distro. That right there. That. Now any place that this link goes is money. I can put this link on Facebook. It's money. I can put this link. Hold on. Let me show you some shit. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. No, 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 no. Right? Why, really? Who the Chana Strata? What the hell? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wait. That's right. I'm not using. Hold on. Wrong account. I'm getting ready to get Toxic Hustle's account rolling. So let me log into my other account. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if I was wrong. There it is. You got me in. Now all I am is alone. Now I am. Right? So now I go back to my Discord. The same thing I did here. Copy this right there. Put it back over here. pop this like this. Right? Bang. Right? Like that. Bang. Bow. Again. Utility, right? So I just took the same link, I put one in Discord, took the same link, I put it on Twitter. If anybody clicks on said link, of course I need to put some hashtags or whatever, and I could have done that. And now, done deal, right? Done deal, I've got utility. This thing just, that plays. Now, what happens if I take this song and I put it to take a hot video? Here we go. Go to YouTube, find a hot video. Find one that's shared a lot. See if you can download it. Upload it to YouTube. Put your music behind. Put your music behind it. Upload it to YouTube and put it back out. Boom! You now have a shareable piece of content that now has your utility. You can do that with motivation graphics, right? You can put motivation graphics on Facebook and have your music behind it and get paid. You can do that on TikTok. You can do that all over the place. And begin to get your utility. Take what you see from TikTok and do the same thing. Your music can be part of any of this stuff. And you don't have to manufacture the content. You can just find hot video content, find trending content, put your music behind the trending content. All right, check this out. Oh, hold up. Another hustle. Check this out, right? How would I do this? Check this out. Yeah. Isotope. Right? Isotope has products. I could take this RX9 product and I can use that to be able to strip out and filter out what I don't want out of it, right? So I'll be able to use their stuff to get the dialogue, right? Or I can take their music and get the music pulled out. So I can just have it dialogue and everything else and drown out or get rid of the music. So now what happens if there's music or something in a trending thing? I use Isotope, get rid of all the music, keeping all of the sound and all the other stuff, sub it out for my music, put that out there, and boom. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said that when you're looking as a media company, this changes you. If you still think like a producer, you've got no utility, you're waiting for rappers, and you've got nothing else. If you look at it and you say, I'm a media company and I happen to have the music that I can use, the only thing I got to do is create video. Now I can either create it myself or I can bootstrap it. Bootstrapping means I've come up with a way to take some content, get that what you can use with you get the copyright use, fair use. Do some fair use with that stuff, sub out your music and get trending content back out to people with your tracks. And if they share it, now you're reaping the benefit of it. That's why I said, if you look at being a media company, your concentration is utility. At the end of the day, it's only utility. So as a producer, I make my beat. Then I'm running around trying to find somebody to rap on it, or I'm hoping I got time to do it myself, which I haven't had for multitudes of years right now. I'm about to change that this year because I've got a workflow. I spent the last 2 years crafting a new workflow to generate albums, write albums, create songs at a decent scale. Like, I'm not writing one song a week. I could literally potentially write 2 songs a day. I'm not going to use it like that, but it can potentially happen and not be so stressful for me to get a song done. So again, this is what utility now for media companies look like. It's not Arista. It's not Sony. It's not Universal. It's not Bad Boy. Made more money than you can get. No, it's none of that. Take that shit. None of that. I ain't taking shit. You can take that over there. weirdo. What I'm going to do is concentrate on my utility of my core asset. That's what we're supposed to be doing as business partners, as me giving you license to my intellectual property. Stop playing with me. Maritime beats. At this cost in the game, and especially with the way inflation is, I can't trust y'all bozos to damn manage my damn assets properly until you want me dead off and then try to peel off my damn estate from me. But that's why my estate ain't gonna be in human hands, fucker. That's why I'm digitizing and assetizing and programming everything away from me. And then the estate can just run on its own. And then, of course, a core programming sect will keep it moving so that there's intellectual revenue to keep running through the system. See, that's my type beats. I want to create my own economy. I don't want to just make money for myself. I need to make an economy because I think that I need 15, 20, 30, 75 other people to be able to make money with me. I'm thinking at scale because I don't want to do beats all the time. I'm getting to be an old head and I just want to be able to chill and make content. Like I want to make art. I want to design music videos. I want to design 3D sets. I want to, there's a lot of shit I want to do, but I ain't got no time to do. So get ready. Everything is automating out of existence. Get ready. This transition to digital is a scary one, but there are opportunities out there. You just got to look at it differently and understand that, yeah, it's going to be some programming, but some of that is programmed away. Some of that is going into the cloud, and what with N8N and learning APIs, learn some JSON, learn JavaScript, learn a little HTML. These things will do well for you. Look, HTML ain't going nowhere. It's in the blockchain. You still use HTML. It ain't going nowhere. JavaScript ain't going nowhere. Right? JSON is the future of data. Yeah, issue. And that's where automation comes in. That's where using these systems come in. And the fastest path to cash, which is the biggest thing. If we deal with like what my director used to tell me, my marketing director, he always hammered in my head. What we have to focus on is the fastest path to cash. Depending on the market conditions, we have to find our way to the fastest path to a customer to be able to be solvent, to pay our bills so that we can get our paycheck. So what I look at, and he became a venture capital founder. So then we did the same thing. He was an employee. We looked at the fastest path to cash. And when he was working for multiple companies and helping them, still is, he has to do the same thing. How do we get to them making money fast so that we can get our payment and then move on to the next investment? Now, for me, I look at all these companies. I'm like, I don't like to move away that fast. I want to be able to nurture a long-time relationship because I feel there's more touch points, especially when you're dealing with graphics, media, marketing, and everything else. And like I say, your pivot is always going to be, look, you've got a job or there's opportunities for jobs. We have 24 hours a day. And these, like, there's people at work I used to work with, and I was at Canon USA, right? The camera company, Japanese company. But they're here in America. They're in New York. So one of the people that was working there, she looked at me and she was like, I get delivery. Like instead of going to the grocery store, I would get delivery of food to my house from Fresh Direct. Right. So basically I get lobster, fresh live lobsters right to my apartment in New York. Right. And they just go down to the supermarket, buy it, and deliver. So before Uber Eats and all that other shit, that's what you had. You had delivery, like they would drive a truck and have like fresh lobster right to your door. So I was telling somebody about that. Yeah, I don't go shop anymore. I get it delivered. And she was just like, oh my God, that's just a waste of money. And I was like, no, it's a waste of money for you because you're a consumer. I'm not. She was like, what? What do you mean? And she got offended. And I was like, don't get offense. I was like, let me explain. When you go home, what do you do? And she said, well, I'll cook and I'll do this and I'll do that. I was like, okay, what do you do on your weekend? She's like, well, we'll mow the lawn and we'll do this and we'll do that. I was like, okay. So that's on your Saturday. She's like, it could be Saturday or Sunday. It depends. But yeah, for the most part, it'll be a Saturday. I said, okay. So you work every single day. And then when you come home, you still got to, on a Saturday or Sunday, go shopping, right? So you're going to lose some hours to go to the store, to then wheel around a basket for a few hours, to then come back home. You got to drive back because sometimes, especially if you're dealing with Long Island and everything else, you still got to use a car. You got to if you use a train, you're losing hella hours, right? So you could easily lose 2 to 3 hours of your life going shopping. I was like, I take those 2 to 3 hours and I go online and I service a contract, or I design some graphics, or I make a beat that makes money for me over a long term. I said one song could generate hundreds of dollars for me. If I have 10 songs or 1,000 songs, it can generate more for me. I was like, for me, my time is best managed not wasting my time going to a supermarket. I would rather have them deliver it to me and I can manage that time. So now we all have 24 hours. Now I said, I go home and I go work. I don't have to, I'll cook something light or I'll cook in advance. Because I don't have a lawn, I don't have to worry about it, about, cutting grass and anything else. And if I did, because she was about to say, well, I was like, but if I did, if it's $50 every 2 weeks to get my grass cut, then or that's $100 a month. That $100 a month, how many hours of my life did I lose to be out there? Did I spend any time with my family? I may have lost family time just being in the freaking yard. I was like, yo, if you organize your time and make your time earn you money, now you have an asset. Your home is supposed to be an asset, but it's a liability disguised as an asset. So I say, Frutch that. I turn my home into a business that generates me money, and my business is in my home, so I work out of it. Just like my Asian brothers and sisters that came over here and worked in the building, the restaurant, downstairs, and lived above it, upstairs. Like in the apartments in New York, in the old brownstones, where the store is downstairs and you still had apartment buildings upstairs. So they would buy that whole complex, that little complex with the upstairs, downstairs, and now the family has a living, the restaurant generates for the above location. So the rent downstairs paid for there and the home above. And because that whole section is now paid off, they have no extra income being spent on another asset like another house someplace. And they don't have to worry about commuting because they just go downstairs. So the optimization of how you use your time and the optimization of how you use your money is how you run through recessions. So when you're dealing with a recession where you're the consumer, us, don't have the disposable income, bank accounts are empty, then what you have to do is work with any business that's actually generating money, or work with any new industry or new technology or new segment or classification of business that is burgeoning, that has attention, visibility, and cash flow flowing through it. So back in the day, MySpace or social media, i.e. Web 2.0, bouncing the hell out here. And me designing MySpace layouts and making $50 a layout. And buying myself some Church's fried chicken because I needed to eat, and swiping my PayPal debit card to do so. Web 2.0, Web 3.0, Coinbase, FTX, Gemini. All these places have a debit card. You're now having robots that can trade for you on an automated basis, and you're generating cash flow. Let's get my robot out since we're talking about that. I told y'all last week that I reshifted all of the robots, right? Rearmed them, And for 4 days, they've been running. In 4 days, they've generated 10%, or a profit of 8.5% in 4 days. Like, y'all, if inflation is 15% annum, 15%, and I'm doing 8% in 4 days, who's beating inflation? Now, I'm not saying that this can be consistent. I am snipe trading, which is when Bitcoin goes down. I told y'all I have a padding right here. I let that, basically, it's like a buffer. And when that buffer gets to a certain level, I don't let it fall any further. And then it, just like it did down here. Like if you go back to my old trades, see how I had it. Had a trailing stop. I don't want to do nothing that goes down below this. We still turned some bot profit was 30%. The bot's total loss, because we were buying on the dip, was minus $550. But that's its sum that's its sum after buying up this much in profit. So now we were 550 down, but we had a sum value of 9G. Now we have a sum value because we bought back lower. I also didn't put all the money back in. I bought low, and then when this goes back up and gets back into its 10, 11, like up to 14 again, I will begin to, again, turn off my systems, sell some of my asset class, let it begin to snitzel back down when it runs down and acts stupid again. And then when it hits a situational bottom again, I will buy back. Like, as Bitcoin plays weird and does these spikes and drops, I'm still shorting the market. My shorts haven't changed. I'm not going to change my shorts. Let me see. Do I have my... Give me a second. I'm going to try to see how the trading shorts are doing. Give me one moment. Today's gain and loss positions. My positions. Current value. All right, so I'm not gonna worry. Like, all right, so basically, one of my shorts is around, and I'll do screenshots later. Hold on, let me do a screenshot now. Hold on, let me do it live. Let me do it live. Give me a second. Give me a second. And then I need to do this here and do this here. And that should be okay. Yep, that should be fine. And copy. And oh wait, I can just drag and drop this over here, actually. Make sure one more time I ain't got my info. Yep, I'm good. Yep. Right. So there you go. Oops. Put that back up. And go here. All right. So underneath my account, I have not been looking at this, but you can see my SQQ, which is the SQQ. I believe that's the... Where are you? Where are my trades, man? Where are my trades? Give me a second. Let's go here. Let's go to here. Let's go to uh, 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 SQQ would be underneath my stock data, and just open the Bitcoin one. And then I believe the SQQ is the NASDAQ 500. SQQ short. So TZA. Okay, yeah. So the TZA is the Russell 2000. The SQQ is the S&P 500. Right? So those are the inverse options on those. And then, so basically, the inverse is me saying, I think the market's going to go down. I think it's 3x. So I think the market's going to go down 3x. So as you can see, this one, the total loss is down by $5, but that's because the market, did the spike and I didn't change my positions. Again, I wasn't going to change my positions. I'm still not changing my position because, like I told you, I believe the market's going to keep going down. And since this play, which was my first play, has been out here playing out on these streets, you can see what the market's done. Right? The market has generated a total profit of $548 on this trade, and I'm still holding steady. So all of this will end up playing down to, like I said, this is only $5 and a triple 3x position. So is this a 3x or is this a 1x? I think this is a 3x. Pretty sure it's a 3x. Anyway, so yeah, so the shorts are still running. We're still good on our shorts, for the most part. Like I said, small loss, but that ain't nothing. So again, my shorts are still in play because I believe the market's going to continue to go down. Let's go back to my bot spots. There we are. And like I said, in the last 4 days, this thing's already generated $8 in some bot profit. Our total profit and loss is $492, but the bot's total profit with purchases is now $300. So it still made $300 or 8% in 4 days. That is beating inflation. Now, what happens when that's 5,000 or maybe even 10,000, right? So again, these are still low numbers. But those low numbers, as this goes and rotates back to the upside, because you saw where it was before, now we're down, it's moved down since the last time. Those are the old ones. So now we're just riding this new swing back to the upside as the market falls down. Something is serious going on when Bitcoin has one of the largest events happening right now. And even with the largest Bitcoin event happening, the market is 0.6% down. Like you have a big Bitcoin conference happening and the market is down because the Russell is damn near down. And of course, the market's kind of up. You got 5% on the S&P 500, 0.05% on the S&P. Hold on, don't think you can see what I see. I don't think you can see what I see. You here. Data. Oops, not data. Sorry. Stock data and BTC. So like right now, you've got Bitcoin is down almost 1%. And then you look here, your Russell, 0.07. You look at your S&P, 0.0809, and we're at 253, y'all. NASDAQ at 0.036, and we're at 253 on a Friday. Y'all know how Fridays typically play, and we're not at the end of the day yet. So look, it's skirting, and Bitcoin is a nice leading indicator to fear in a market. So just get ready. Like I said, get ready. If you look at Bitcoin, Like I said, look at the weekly and look at what we're getting ready to do. We're down here. When this closes and Sunday, and if Sunday we are not above this, we will be down here. We will start falling down to this mark down here. Maybe even, well, we'll see if we bust through these two weeklies. But if we bust through these two weeklies, we'll be right down to this purple, which we're going to end up to this purple. Purple lines get met some form of way. See, right here is a purple line. We missed that purple line. So now we're going down to the next purple line, which is down here. We zoom in. Hold on. There's your next purple line right there. So broke this one. And from this break, we go to that one. And if we break that one, you see what it does. It's going to go right down to this one. And that is why I'm shorting the market and still maintaining my shorts, because I believe that the narrative and the dynamics of what's going on in our economy ain't changed. I believe automation is eating up jobs. I believe that analog is not going to keep up. That's going to account for more jobs and more losses happening. I think that the inflation rate's going to keep rising up. It's going to cause these companies to have even tighter problems with their inventory, and then potentially have more losses as far as earnings by earning misses, because these expenses are going to kick their ass, especially with having to pay more for employment. So with all of that happening, then they have debt. And if that debt, as the interest rates, every single time that the Fed meets, they're going to do basis increases. So another increase is coming soon. We don't know if it's going to be a quarter point or if they're going to be a 50 basis point increase. But if that happens, again, that is now business loans getting their debt, their credit lines increased. And if they're already barely being able to keep their business afloat, that means they've got to lay off people to be able to pay down the debt. Because what's more important for a company's business? It is to stay solvent. That might mean that you might need to let go people to make sure that you can pay your debts. What's that going to do? Well, that's now going to cause more people to be out of work, causing yet again more homes and other things to not be bought, purchased, and all that other stuff. People will tighten up their belts even more. That's going to cause more earnings misses. Watch what happens after the second quarter. Third quarter is going to be beastly. And you know that's right around that, right? And you know fourth quarter is a destructor. But September is typically a bad time. And that's why I said third quarter is right around that September timeline is when things go beastly for the stock market. Hold on, I'll show you. Let's go back to the Russell. Let's do the S&P 500. Let's go on the weekly. And let's go back in time. And look at September, right now, right there. November, you had a spike up and then boom, a drop. Why in November? November was your peak. So your fourth quarter. November, peak, and then January drop. And then before that, you had October and then a smaller drop. And then if you look at the Russell, again, November was your top of the key. October. So after October, your third. October, November, December, right? That's your fourth quarter. Boom, drop all the way down till January. So again, that last quarter, look here, June drop. June drop. I keep telling y'all, June is going to be something to watch. May, June is going to be something to watch, because even on the stock market, June drop. So just concentrate, please concentrate on income, not stocks, not trading. None of that crap matters in a market that is fearful. These people may not think they're fearful, but this is fearful. Why? There is, as an investor or a person that owns millions of dollars, they don't have anywhere to park their money. Wealthy people don't like not having a place to park money. When they say that the market is fearful, they're not talking about your fear. They're talking about the wealthy and whether or not they are making interest. And when they only make 4% interest in a year and their living expenses are way more than that, they are not happy campers. Just ask Nancy Pelosi, considering how well her trades have been doing for the last 10 years. All right. So I'm going to get ready to grab me a snack because I'm going to have to make some deliveries because, people got to still work out on these streets. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all be safe. Well, I'm probably going to be doing a Sabbath tomorrow because I got some stuff on my spirit I need to get off, and y'all need to see some things that I've kind of been seeing. And like I said, that the beast system, the six and the six, which is the internet protocol, the IP6, the Wi-Fi protocol or the Wi-Fi 6, and of course the G6 or like the 5G, 6G, excuse me, the 6G protocol that'll be launching, and that'll be your third six, right? Not to mention that Unix has 666, and the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet is a W or double va or www or World Wide Web. So we will be talking about the digitization of man tomorrow. We will be talking about the lengths that are going to be necessary to kind of like keep your spirit in check and your ego in check, because people are going to get like superhuman egos in a minute. Like if you thought like people had Kanye egos yet, they ain't seen nothing yet. These people are going to have super egos, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. There's some things getting ready to go down. There's some Hadron Collider stuff I want to talk about tomorrow. There's some Teslas showing ghost type beats out on these streets, or certain disembodied spirits out on the streets. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to do that on the Sabbath tomorrow. Going to have some Sabbath talks. So Tribe, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Shogun, RTP, I appreciate it for real. Immersive, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for chilling out with a nig, man. I'd be long-winded and shit.